fantastic. Today, I hope everyone could hear that. I had a funny problem with this shot. Okay, now it's fixed. Akeem, or Min as we know him, will be joining us halfway through. He's stuck at the sort of lockdown queue at the supermarket. And this week we will not have Bill playing with us as he is unfortunately saddled with family Christmas stuff.
Will he be being Jaegered, or should we just assume he will not be
if we get into combat, I will ask one of you. You already have Grandma to play, so
not necessarily me. I just meant
sure.
What the procedure was.
I'll ask Ben to throw his dice.
I'll pull up his character sheet now.
For those of you watching for the first time, Grandma is a reanimated mummy we found.
Yes.
Grandma is a reanimated.
Cool. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it, because tonight, as with every night, we kill monsters. Yeah, we need some kind of music, like...
Yeah.
Last we left you guys, you had arrived at the keep of Caer Dineval, the castle there, looking for the lost son of the innkeeper from Bremen, with a funny name that I can never pronounce, Huarwar. It's quite a mouthful. And looking for him. And you'd sort of been pointed in the direction of the castle also by the local barkeep with some sort of strange allusions that maybe you should go there for the night. But when you had arrived, you had found that they were expecting you, very surprisingly. And you had a conversation with a very unsettling tiefling fellow that presented himself as the sort of go-to man for the local townspeaker who was otherwise deathly ill and indisposed. You'd just come fresh from rescuing the guide, Garrett, and who's now on his way back home to Targos. You'd found, on the way to retrieving his sled, an outpost full of Duergar that seemed to be also set on doing some mischief on Easthaven, which is where you were originally trying to get to before you stopped for the night in the castle, much to the chagrin of some of the more cautious players and to the delight of the kill-everything players. So, you are huddled together next to a brazier in the bottom floor of the northeastern tower of the castle. Dinner is due in about an hour. What do you want to do or say?
Zuxa.
Yes.
You mentioned the ability to project an alternative appearance.
That's right.
That's just yourself, or could you
It is
extend
just
that
myself.
I'm not opposed to your idea of... Sorry, wrong choice of words. I like your idea of snooping about in disguise. I'm just concerned if you get caught out by yourself. I don't doubt your capabilities. I doubt the versus numbers, if that's fair. Perhaps having Rover in your pocket as a dormouse or something.
I mean, this is an idea I had in some panic, thinking of the odds that we have against us here, and being unsure as to why they might want to be allied with us in the first place, on whether that's genuine.
That's why I'm thinking go to dinner first, suss out the situation, and also as well it's better to snoop out when there's fewer people about. I imagine there's a threshold of where one could potentially perceive through your disguise.
Yes,
The more people about, the more chance that happens.
I know. My disguise doesn't extend to my voice at this stage, so I can't alter that in any way at the moment. We could go to dinner. I do think we should still talk to the young boy we encountered in the stable. Was it stables?
The dog kennels.
The dog kennels. And there was also another servant that I thought we could, or a helper, a worker here that I thought we should talk to before we go to dinner, so we can find out more about Rook. Was it Rook? It's spelled Ruok on here, Rook. I don't know if that's how you say his name.
I agree.
R-U-O-R-K. It was a name that was mentioned as some kind of ringleader for some head honcho type.
Sorry.
Don't know.
don't remember that name. Why don't I remember? Cranok.
Right.
I have Cranok
We have
Seer, the
Kadroth.
town speaker, and we have
Yeah,
Kadroth.
We've got Kadroth, but we also have Ruark. Ruark?
Agreed. Also, between you guys and myself, this whole I speak for the man in charge who's deathly ill, but trust me, I'm totally his confidant, smacks a little bit of, I've totally got a girlfriend, but you wouldn't know her, she goes to a different school. So
Also considering that, who we believe to be town speaker is now under lock and guard and key.
And we still, and it may be the man you saw on the chamber pot, was it?
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if we'll be able to get to him in time, but I feel like we could only do one or the other. We could only either try and find him and talk to him, or question these two people. I think we can only choose. I think we only have the time to do one or the other. So what do you think? Which one do you think we should do?
It would not come as a surprise to me if the Lord is just a cadaver stuffed into a closet at this point in time. I would wager go for the one we definitely know is still alive.
What do you think?
If you would like to go talk to child or maid lady and with your disguise trick I've never seen, I'm happy to sit in pocket his mouse. His backup.
Question. Does anyone but me possess magical means to make a loud noise?
I don't. Just a second.
It may be good to establish a agreed upon signal that we all know to interpret as we've been made cut loose, or like abandon we're in trouble, like come get us, like start fighting. Like start fighting, like it's killing spree, not killing spree time, but that the time for pleasantries has passed. Not that I want to get to that point, but
personally, if you hear howling wolf, probably me.
I've got thaumaturgy, so I'll just... If you hear a word that sounds weird, like, I don't know, pomegranates, okay, fine. I'll use thaumaturgy to yell pomegranates. If you hear that, interpret that as kill everyone.
I think it should be more like escape. Escape. We're outnumbered. Caliban, we don't all have an armor class of 25. Okay. I don't want to get out of this alive. I feel like we could also try and talk to the son that we encountered at the entrance, who I've forgotten about, who I just remembered now.
I agree, and to be clear, I'm not advocating actively seeking out and killing people, but if I'm separated from you guys, you bet your ass I'm going to try and kill my way to you so I can help you escape as well. Like you said, I don't have, not everybody has an armor class.
Sorry, I shouldn't even said that, but I'm just like, dude, Caliban, small, weak, and frail. Oh dear. I mean, we do have Nana, so we do have an... Well.
That reminds me, we need a cover reason why she can't come to dinner. Or at least won't be eating.
Oh.
She has many...
Can I just quickly ask, how strong is Nana again? I forget how
that is it. I can look that up.
Because I'm thinking Nana might be best to deploy Nana and delegate her to our only exit.
Nana's slightly less strong, slightly weaker than me, slightly.
Okay.
16. She has a strength of 16.
I'm thinking that if all things go to plan pomegranate, then we have to ensure that our only exit is clear, and that we can escape. So
can we attach like a couple handles to Nana so I can use her as like a ramming device? She can like hold her face open. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Still though, I like your idea of a quick launch process, perhaps some sort of portable trebuchet. Caliban says this obviously joking, just before anyone.
And everyone glances at Nana quickly. She looks pretty
How does Nana respond to this?
Nana's
just
eyes
kind
are
of-
just getting wider. And Nana's eyes just get slightly wider. Okay. So plan pomegranate. I feel I don't know. What do you guys think, or do you think we have to take Nana with us? Maybe it's best to have Nana in the room if things
Well,
get
that's the
hairy.
thing. If you go snooping about, I can't come with you. I'm noisy and I can't disguise myself. I will have to remain in this room. That's why I'm suggesting code words, because then if I hear a distant pomegranate, let's just use that hypothetical for the moment. Doesn't have to be that word, but
it.
I'll know. Oh shit! Come get me, and then I and Dumbrick will storm towards the sound.
I mean, I cannot help you be disguised, but I can make you more sneaky. I can make all more sneaky.
The trouble is, if I'm with you guys in any capacity, the likelihood we get people to divulge information
right.
is nil.
Okay.
Yes, you're not that good with them. You're very good at pissing people off. You're right.
Okay. I know
I'm
that
good
I
at getting information, just not agreeably.
Okay. I know that I've mentioned the servants that we could speak to and the speaker, but I actually am now thinking that the best lead for us is to talk to the son that we met or encountered at the gate and the entrance on the way in. And then we can decide whether Nana stays there whether Nana stays there to keep that open to us so that we could leave if we must. So I think that's probably the best thing to do before dinner.
I have a potentially unconventional idea as well for sneaking time as well. It's not that weird, but what if, whilst you guys are traveling about, Dubrick and I stage like a drunken brawl between the two of us or something? Make some ruckus, get rowdy, pretend to get into a very loud disagreement. It might not do much, but a couple people might get distracted because of it. Might draw a little bit of attention away, make
Only
things even
problem is
slightly
if-
easier for you.
Only problem is if me and Zax are sneaking, and they come into room, they see her missing, they know jig is up.
No, I'm saying Dubrick and I go out into the courtyard and I'm like, and I said your mother's a bitch or whatever, and then like we pretend brawl or something.
Okay.
Just
Is
as a
that-
thought, we don't have to do this. I'm just
you do
putting
you.
it out there.
I was hoping to talk to them less by sneaking and more just by walking up to the tower and saying that I have a message from his mother.
Okay, no drunken brawl.
I was
Just
gonna-
putting it out. Just
Okay.
putting it out there as an option.
No, that's it's one we have to save for later. It's something we have to do later. But I feel like now, given the time and given that we might need to have you and Dubrick available to us and there, just for safety, just for our protection, we'll save that strategy for later. Okay. Now I feel like I should just walk up there in my current form. And just say that we'd been sent there in the first place to find him. What do you think?
Now,
Simplest thing to do. Shall we?
we can absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
right
I
now
make my way from
Sure.
the wherever we are, which I know is on the opposite side. I think.
They're in the gatehouse, so you're on the top rightmost tower at the bottom floor. So what you can do is abandon the bottom floor, going up the stairs that lead to the top floor of the tower, and then exit the tower and go along the curtain wall and follow along until you get to the gatehouse. You happy with that?
Is that the shortest way?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then great.
Before she goes, I tell Zaxa, anything goes wrong, take the boy's pendant off of him if you can.
Oh, also for reference, what is happening to the amulet you took off Hethel? Who has it and where?
I don't believe I have it.
Rover
I
took
just
it,
have-
but where is it?
Most of it still has it.
You have it on you?
I would have gotten it out to show people.
Yeah.
But it would be all bundled up in cloth because
But
we
with your stuff, yeah?
yeah
Okay.
yeah with my stuff.
Cool.
And last thing, as Zuxa leaves, I'm going to tell Grandma that search and destroy, until I say otherwise, if I command her that, means kill anyone wearing one of those pendants.
Okay.
Before you do go, I am going to do the quick little into a spider so I can sit in your pocket.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So you guys head up the spiral staircase onto the top
I remain
floor.
in the room with Grandma.
Sure. And start making your way over to the gatehouse. You cross you walk outside along the curtain wall, enter the next tower, the southeast tower, and exit and open the door into the gatehouse. 1 second. As you open it, you see a chamber with a system of wheels that raises the portcullises and the doors. In the middle of the floor are murder holes through which the arrows or alchemical fire can be poured or fired onto the people trying to come into the castle if it was to be breached. And you see two people, Roger for a second time and Zaxa for the first time. There is a young man sort of keeping guard, and in sort of a little cot next to him is taking sort of like her turn to sleep, a similarly aged tiefling. He looks up and says, "Hello, can I help you?"
My name is... I don't remember his name. Sorry.
His name? He hasn't told you his name yet, but his name is Huarwar.
And what was the name of his mother?
Cora.
I didn't meet them. That was the
day
episode.
when you were in there.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Cora Mulfoon and Huarwar Mulfoon.
I'm Zaxa Bay. I believe you saw us when you allowed us in at the entrance.
Ah.
Are you the son of Cora?
And he looks surprised. That's me mom? How do you know her?
We've come a long way to find you. We were sent here by her to see if you were well. She was concerned about your disappearance.
I'm fine. Like, it's she always does this. It's like, it's fine.
If it is fine, then why would she be so concerned? Hey! I came! I came.
Good to see you, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry to just jump in, but I had something to do.
Should I just try sort of dive?
going.
Yeah, keep going.
Continue. I'll catch up.
So you are Wawar.
That's me name, yes.
See, if it was really all fine, then why would your mother be so concerned and feel like she needed to know where you were and didn't know where you were?
She just wants me to help her with the inn. I'm done with that. I found something bigger and greater.
Bigger? Greater?
Yes, I found my purpose. And he sort of like touches his amulet.
Who gave you this amulet?
I found it, didn't I? Like all of us here. When I went out looking for the... Oh, do you know this story? I don't know if my mom would have told you, but I went missing. We went out looking for the town speaker of Bremen. He was missing. He's an old dwarf, well beyond his years. And he gets lost from time to time. His mind is not really there, if you know what I mean. And we went out with a search party looking for him. Only I got lost in a blizzard, and I was gonna die. I was doomed. But then the Lord of the Fifth saved me. He offered to help me, and this amulet appeared in the snow and kept me warm and guided me back to town. And it was there only a few days later that I met, and he sort of points with his head to the young tiefling. Fell came and talked to me and told me about all the others that had been saved.
So you believe you were chosen? You were
Yes.
saved?
Finally, like, I was seen for what I could do by a greater power, not just to be an innkeeper like my dad, like my mom, something bigger.
How...
You can tell my mom I'm fine. Like, I'm not coming back. She can forget about that.
I'm trying to think of what else to ask her. We will be staying. We will be staying this evening for dinner, and I have to wonder. You allowed us in so easily. How did you come to know about our?
The Lord of the Fifth told us, didn't he? He communicates to us, whispers into our minds, and tells us things. He's announced that a group of adventurers, gestures to you, would be coming, and that we would have common goals, that we should help you.
The Lord of the Fifth.
Aye.
When did the Lord of the Fifth started speaking to you in your mind
That's right.
after you got lost in the storm?
And saved me.
And he speaks to everyone's minds in this castle.
All of the chosen, yes.
Well, I can pass on that message to your mother. But now I'm gosh. Trying to think of whether or not I should do anything else or cast anything else. Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
Do you want to do it in front of him?
Oh, can I not? Oh, okay. maybe not then.
I mean,
I guess
you can try to kind of go away and cut. For example, you could go around the corner and try to cast it and then come back, kind of thing.
You have to, that you're visible. Okay, I've run out of questions. I don't know what else to ask him, so I'm gonna cut and leave.
Okay.
Do I know anything about the Lord of the Fifth? What would I know if I know anything at all about him?
Roll a religion check.
I was gonna say, as I'm there, can I also roll something to see if I recognize that?
Sure.
No, 7.
First 20 of the day.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah. Like, yeah. So
Out of
with
character,
my-
there's an irony you'll appreciate in 1 second.
So that's, yeah, it's just 20.
All right.
I can't say
You
this to
think
anyone yet.
that the only, like, I mean, you're not that familiar with the religion of the common folk, but the only time you ever heard someone talking about some kind of lord of something that was the fifth was the lord of the fifth circle of hell. You remember that fact?
Yeah. No, that's okay. Easy.
Whilst this is happening, everybody else that's behind, so Akeem, you're back with Caliban in the tower waiting for them to finish this conversation. But
Do you have any threes?
Threes? Oh, you're playing cards.
Oh. I don't. No, I don't.
I guess I go fish then. Sorry, DM, carry on.
Son of a-
You hear a knock at the door.
Nice.
I make Grandma's covered up, right? I would think we would have kept her covered
Sure.
up. Okay. Who is it?
And you hear the voice of the young boy that you met in the kennels. Alassar Sulmander at your service.
I clap Hakim on the back, say, "You know what? I'm pretty tired. You take this one."
Thanks. Hello, Alasar.
Hello. And he's only 8, so he's quite short, looking right up at you.
Looking down at him.
He with a big broad smile.
What brings you here?
I have come as your other companion is already arrived and sitting for dinner. I thought you might want to know.
Oh, are we expected to go dinner now, or do we have a couple of minutes?
No, you have time, but your last companion has already arrived.
This companion, what does he look like? Or she look like?
It looks like, and he kind of does like a little kind of ears type of thing. Cat person.
Okay. Cool. Great. We'll be down in a minute.
And he takes a deep bow and leaves.
Just out of character, I'm confused. I don't know who that is. Is that
No, but you don't know him yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
If Duergar was there, he'd be like, "That is very strange. I don't. Do you guys know someone else?"
See, I'm
Have
looking
a
around
friend?
at Caliban and be like, "Is this a friend of yours?"
And whilst this is happening, Zaxa and a rover come back into the room.
If I assume if Duergar's there, he can speak with animals and translate any questions that I want to ask.
Sure.
Okay, so anyone know anything about Lord of Fifth?
Do I?
I vaguely remember it being to do with hell, a Lord of Hell, but I don't know.
Romeo, put your thing down. We can't hear
Caliban.
you.
Do I know anything about that?
Roll a religion check.
I second that notion.
Natural 16 for a total of religion 17.
Okay, so what was the question? The exact question you asked, Rover?
3.
I said I would have through Duergar said, does anybody know anything about Fifth Devil of Hell, like
Okay.
a Lord of Hell?
Yep. Yeah.
Fifth
No,
or
specifically the 5th. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Caliban, you'd know that from having dealt with cults that the 5th Lord of Hell is the Archdevil Levistus. You have not encountered any worshippers or anything of him, but you know this fact. Sorry, Mind, what did you roll?
I rolled a 3 plus 2, which gives me a 5.
Okay.
You're pretty sure 5 is a number.
Thanks.
Sorry, carry on. You were saying?
I thought you were saying something.
Oh, me? No, I said
Oh,
son of
sorry.
No,
because it's
DM.
5.
No, I was waiting for you now know this fact. Rover's just asked that question as a spider
Oh.
to Duergar, who's asked you.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm assuming Zaxa might want to say what she found out or not, or you guys have just been told there's another member of your party waiting.
Should we, well, the kid that just came up a second ago described someone with pointy ears. Initially I thought that might have been Zaxa, but I don't know if any of you guys have someone else that you're expecting. No? Should
We
make-
know we're not
Duergar
expecting
is
anyone,
saying-
guys. We know we're not expecting anyone. So this is
Should we
going to
go
be
find
news to
out?
us. We need to be on guard. I think.
I'm still very cautious about this dinner.
We know yeah, okay. Well, after talking to Chorus Son, all I took from that was that the amulets are a way for them to be communicated with by this lord. I'm not sure destroying the amulet will do more than anything other than destroying the connection they have between that voice and their mind, I guess. So I think that means that it's got something to do with that. It also means that should any kind of message that is any kind of way hostile towards us happen, then all of them would be alerted very quickly. And we just need to know that we need to be very careful about how we go about this dinner. because if one party can communicate with all of them very quickly, we need to be careful. Other than that, there was very little in that conversation that I found. It didn't give me much insight into Kadros or anything other than the fact that he seems to be happy here. So, yeah.
DM, the plot Caliban uncovered is part of his backstory, which so you guys are aware of now. That was Asmodeus devil worship,
Yes.
right? Okay. Well, that explains that. Devils are rivalous, finicky bastards. Love to stab each other in the back.
I think we need to find out why this Kadroth wants to be allied to Caliban, or at least, and we also need to decide, well, not only why, but whether we should participate in that just individually.
So again, through Derbick, but also I think Derbick would somewhat agree. Be like, let's go to dinner. You guys, at least at dinner, you guys get to eat it. I'm stuck as spider watching you guys eat and drink. I don't get beer.
I think we can theorize, but the only way that we're actually going to get to any information
if we go to dinner.
We need to find out what's going to happen. But
I just think that we should go into it less like we're going to have a battle and more like we need to have some answers to some questions that we have, and we need to coordinate on making sure we get that information.
How much time do we have?
Before we start? How
much time do we have?
It's right about dinner time now. Like you're supposed to go down.
Dinner time it is.
See,
I was hoping to check out the armory contents before dinner, but never mind.
The only other thing Derek might, if no, actually don't worry, because my character wouldn't know that.
All right,
don't worry.
So do you guys go to dinner? All right. Do you leave Grandma in the tower, or do you bring her with you?
Oh no, Grandma's coming.
Okay.
Grandma's coming?
She's bundled up?
If we have to explain why she does not eat, it is because she has very sensitive system.
Okay. All right.
Gluten-free only.
So you guys make your...
No, don't specify. All the allergies.
All right. So you guys make your way out of the tower door, through the courtyard in the snow. It's kind of picked up a little bit now, so the visibility is quite low even in the courtyard. You walk past the kennels, who the dogs kind of bark again, but they can recognize you, so it's more of a friendly bark this time. And you make your way to the big giant wooden doors. And as you open them, you see that there's a few people that are already starting to gather at the three large trestle tables. Both the young boy and the other servant girl, Mia, are sort of setting plates down. They're grabbing things. They're kind of, getting ready for dinner. At the third table, where you assume that your place has been made because people have left that sort of open, you notice a figure sitting down with a glass of what appears to be sort of a golden liquid inside. And I'll let Zach introduce and tell you what you see.
So you see a tabaxi with very golden fur, a very bushy orange moustache. He's wearing a pith helmet. He's very dapper. He's sort of in a waistcoat and breeches, and his feet are bare though, and he's very particular. You can see there's that cat element of being very particular, but also he seems to be very upright and quite sort of stiff. He's sort of gently sipping, and you watch him observe everything. He by his foot curled up is a little fox.
And as you observe this scene, the young boy, Alasar, comes and kind of gestures to you. Please take a seat. Please take a seat. And he points you in the table with this gentleman.
Do I recognize him from anywhere, by the way?
You do not.
Is this something? Oh, okay.
Divine sense.
Aside from every single amulet in the room pinging with a light glow, you don't see anything out of the place. Oh, and of course, Grandma's lit up like a...
I got red circles now in my vision.
See, how many seats are there that I can see? Like, is this quite a grand?
It's
table?
three long trestle tables with plenty of seats. You assume that maybe a dozen or more people can sit. Sorry, not a dozen. Half a dozen people or so, maybe 10 people, could sit at each one of the tables if they squish together.
How is this room lit?
There are sconces and torches on the walls.
So there is no large candelabra in the middle. Oh, sorry, there's a large chandelier in the middle. One could dramatically cut down to like make an impact and kill a lot of them.
I don't think it says that. Let me just double check. But let's say that there is right in the middle.
Okay,
Sure.
good to know.
Yeah, to light up.
Okay.
Above you, like there's two walkways, and at the end of you know what? I'll show you.
You're describing Game of Thrones. You're describing Game of Thrones.
I will show. Actually, let me show the audience as well. 1 second. Where is what I want? There we go.
Okay. And who can we see anyone on that second level currently, or is it empty right now? So there could be someone hiding there. I very cautiously walk around, thinking about like where would be the most strategic place to sit down that I can, like that I'm not backed up against the wall.
Okay. Are the tables bolted to the floor, or would you say that they would be flippable in the event?
Is anybody actually seated? Is that little squirt, the little one that told us that we had to go to dinner, is he visible? Is he around? Can I signal him over? I crouch down and I say, "Hey kid, can you tell me where Kadros usually sits? It'd be super helpful, please." Who's the most important person in this room if he's not here? You would know that. And I make a not those guys again. Damn.
Just
Okay.
as he's about to run off, I grab him by the back of his thingy, pull him in close, and go, "Hey, hello again. Earlier on, you said one of the last member of our party is here. Can you see him anywhere in this room?" Ah, okay. Because I saw him before, but I hadn't quite made the connection. So I'm like, I just tap the kid on the back and go, "Good boy, thanks."
I sit down next to said tabaxi.
Greetings.
Don't believe I know you.
No, I don't think we've been formally introduced.
So it makes
Oreo
me
Nostro, Doctor.
So it makes me uneasy that people seem to believe we know each other.
And I'm putting my hand out.
I will
Well,
slightly mechanically, but I will take the hand.
well, good to meet you. I'm sorry. What did you say? I couldn't quite hear you.
I said, people assuming I know someone when I don't know them makes me a little uneasy. I'm sure you understand.
Who assumed that you knew me?
The people in this building.
That would worry me too, I have to say. But
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
I don't think that succeeds. 9.
You don't know.
I'm telling
Dirty
you.
20. Dirty 20, but
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth.
yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell anyone, so.
Oh yeah, because you're a tiny little.
Yeah.
What brings you all the way to the ass end of nowhere?
I could ask you the very same question.
I got banished for trying to do the right thing. What's your excuse?
You know what? Remarkably similar, but my quest has driven me north. And maybe just, finding something out. I like investigating things. I like noticing things. I like doing things, really. Yes, how come that you became sort of a warrior? That's always an interesting question.
Well, I had this insane notion that there was some good in the world and it was worth fighting for.
That's not an insane notion, It's actually quite good. I mean, insanity is keep on doing it when you're proved wrong, but there is some good in the world, so yes, I think that's a pretty admirable notion.
Sometimes it feels like you get proved wrong all too often, though.
That's life, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is. So what about you? What are you hoping to find and discover?
Oh, all sorts of things. Well, I've been investigating yetis, and he takes out a notebook. He's got a little notebook here, and he's like, well, I've been investigating yetis and different snowfall and the Battlehammer clan and just loads of interesting things, really. I like finding out stuff. That's kind of my raison d'etre, as they say.
Do you have it in there that yetis take people as toys? Literally toys, like playthings.
Well, yes.
Sorry, Ben?
Sorry. Sorry, I feel like Derbic at the mention of yetis would pipe up and be like, so have you ever spoke to one?
Spoke to? No, observed. Observed.
They're really quite friendly once you get to know them.
Yes, no, they're quite fascinating creatures. I mean, but then all things are fascinating to me.
Yeah, no, I was actually raised. I apologize for my terrible American accent.
I was actually raised.
Don't ever
raised
your accent. It's perfectly acceptable,
See, I
I was actually raised by Yeti.
Sorry.
laughing and I extend my hand out to our new friend here and say, "It is a pleasure to meet you."
A pleasure to meet you, young sir. I am Dr. Oreo Nostro.
Hakim of Zamunda.
Zamunda. Interesting. I have an interesting place, Zamunda, I believe. I must visit there one day. And he strokes his moustache.
If only I wish I could show it to you.
Well, maybe one day we can travel there together.
Sorry,
You'll
what
have
is the
to tell
coloration
me.
of this tabaxi, out of just curiosity?
Gold.
The color of your fur.
I'm golden, but he has a red moustache.
Romeo, you're standing too far in front, like your
Sorry.
face is below the... Okay. So, Mir and Alasar are kind of finishing setting up the table, and almost everyone's sitting down now. And a couple are starting to glance over at the stairs. Do you guys want to do anything quickly before?
Have they brought out any food yet?
No, just drinks.
Can I check the drinks for anything that isn't something you should put in your body?
I'd be cautious of any of that.
And like try to do it subtly.
How do you do that? In what way?
I will, and I do not expect this to succeed unless I get really lucky, just out of character putting that out there, but just try to, like, just before I drink, I'll take a very good long sniff.
Okay, well, roll a medicine check.
Natural 20!
It smells like, like ale.
Okay, I can be reasonably okay, fair enough. Sorry, just for the record, because I know a natural 20 isn't an automatic success. Medicine would be a total of 21. But okay.
Ben?
At the sight of everyone drinking ale, some of you might notice a spider that occasionally pops up onto Durbik's shoulder and somehow has its arms crossed. And then it would sneak back down into the pocket, just being like...
Alasar kind of comes to you guys and goes, will your big friend be joining us for dinner? I could not find them in the tower.
He came down with the worst stomach ache. Grandma too, unfortunately. They'll be indisposed for this evening.
Sorry, they've never met me, Caliban.
Has he never met? Like,
No,
Alasar?
I was wide.
Oh, even when... Okay, sorry.
I thought Nana was coming with us.
Oh, Nana, sorry.
She's
Sorry,
just
I
eating.
take that back. I thought... Sorry, hard to keep track of, out of character. He came down with the worst stomach ache, unfortunately.
Never mind then, but he has set...
Oh, he doesn't know, okay.
He wouldn't say, where's your big friend, but he would have a place set for another person and be curiously looking around, like waiting to see if he was becoming...
Oh.
So do you guys want to do anything else, or... Because I'm going to proceed with something in a second.
While this is happening, I give Caliban a little bit of a kick under the table just to be like, come on, shut up.
Well, no, I thought we retracted the thing that was said because it
okay,
wouldn't have
my
been
bad.
said.
Cool.
Just before it, like the last thing, can I just get a scope of the room and the people in it? Like, who's got weapons with them? What kind of weapons? Do I see any staves or anything like that? Can I suss out the other guests?
Roll a perception check.
Ew.
It's not looking good.
Is that with your new real dice?
Yes. Yes, right.
8?
At least I know it's me.
Yeah. Are you adding your bonus though from
Yes,
the?
yes. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
This is a 1.
No.
8?
8. You can't immediately tell, but like the closest ones you can see might appear to have the hilt of a scimitar popping out from their sort of the edge of their coat. That's all you can see, the closest ones. Suddenly, and I'm gonna try. Can you guys hear the talking crowd, by the way?
Oh shit! No,
Yeah.
I forgot to turn on my.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing howling wind on.
Yeah,
some
same. Oh wait, no, now I hear it.
I'm hearing sort of crowd.
Yeah, now I can hear
I've
it.
just stopped the talking crowd, but there was
I hear a
talking crowd.
rumble.
I heard it.
All right, let me just restart it for people that are just logging in,
Not bad.
because it does go funny if you're not there at the beginning.
See, I love how people say goes funny when things go wrong, rather than haha, that's hilarious.
It's working.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
cool. The crowd quietens altogether almost suddenly before you see anything, but you then see coming down the stairs and sort of stop at the top of the landing, looking down at everybody, the figure of Kadroth, who I think, everyone except Oreo has met before. And he looks out and goes, "Brothers and sisters, I have some good news and I have some grave news." And everybody sort of quietens. Our eldest member, the Venerable Hethel, has passed away. And there's like some murmuring. This saddens our hearts. And never again shall we have her foresight to guide us. A drink. And Alasar and Mir are busy pouring out of a special sort of bottle the same golden liquid that you saw Oreo drinking into like glasses that have been put out for this occasion.
I haven't been drinking it. I've just been sipping it.
Okay.
And just sort of putting it down. So it's not drinking it. It's like pretending to sip it.
Pretending to sip it. Okay.
How does it taste, Oreo?
Uh,
Never mind. Sorry, I don't say that. Go on.
And, you know, with arms open, he's sort of looking out and saying, "A drink to Hethel. We shall never see her like again. May the Lord of the Fifth protect us and guide us." And they all sort of cheers and drink. Do you guys drink?
Hell no.
Raise my glass. Can I roll an? Can Oreo roll an insight check to him, please?
Sure.
See.
See, for me, I make it look like I'm drinking, but actually I have my lips closed as it
Yeah,
comes up.
you know, like
I make sure I'm looking at Kadros as I don't drink.
I look around and go, delicious. It's great. Yep.
12 on the insight check.
Okay. You can't tell much at this point. He seems genuine. And so they all drink and down it and cheers to Hethel one last time. And then Kadroth continues. However, our new guests, and he gestures to you, have finally joined us as we were foretold. Together, we will defeat the threat that envelops this town. Together, we will bring forth his will. And they sort of clap and cheer to that.
DM, we've just lost your audio.
Stand by for battery change on the radio mic.
Your call is important to us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now.
Okay.
We
Sorry.
returned to our regular
Where did I
program.
stop?
We're gonna stop the threat in this
Everyone.
town.
Okay. Sorry, and Zach, you were about to interrupt, or?
I'm just, Oreo goes, terribly sorry and all that, and I don't mean to interrupt your very verbose and very eloquent speeches, but, what threat are you talking about, and what threat are you trying to rope us into?
See, as he says this, I also kind of pipe and go, I too would like to know.
And Kadroth goes, well, as some of your companions will know, there is a Duergar threat to this place, and indeed the rest of the world. They have already opposed them once. That is how we know of them. And we have been foretold by Hethel and her visions that you, and he once again gestures to all 6 of you, will oppose and defeat them with our help.
Okay. An interesting conjecture. I'm just wondering, you know, now that slightly old, this Hethel has passed on to the greater coils, how trustworthy were her visions before this?
They have never been wrong the time that I've known her.
Okay. And you mentioned a little gentleman, the Lord of the Fifth.
Yes, and they clasps his amulet for a second.
Okay. Who is he?
The Lord of the Fifth is he who rescues those that need it most, and they all nod. And he points to the tiefling that's next to Huarwar, where, for example, young Fell here was cast out as a sacrifice to Oral the Frostmaiden by the ungrateful people of this towns. To die of exposure, the Lord of the Fifth saved her, guided her, gave her warmth, and sent her to us. He's the only one opposing this cold threat.
The only one?
The gods have forsaken this place, have they not?
Well, gods, schmods. I mean, science is all really. I mean, it's really interesting and all that, but hey-ho. Yes, okay. Thank you very much for the information, sir. Carry on. Keep on with the verbose speeching.
He looks mildly irritated, but just kind of keeps it as under wraps as possible. And the king continues, and he goes, tomorrow our work begins, but tonight we feast. And they will cheer once more and start drinking the golden liquid.
As he says this, I also pipe up and go, when you say work, what do you mean?
Very good point, Akeem. I like this man very much. I'm saying very, very smart man.
I think Zuxa and I at this point are sharing like, oh my god, looks.
We have our own instructions from the Lord of the Fifth to oppose this threat. We don't intend for our work to cross necessarily with yours, but we know that our efforts combined will stop the danger.
I'm all
If
for
you
a
have
good-
further questions, I will be happy to take them in my office.
I will make a sign of acknowledgement at that.
I kind of look like I do have more questions, but I realize this is probably not the right time for them. So I kind of sit back down, kind of be like, to be continued.
And with a sweep of his sort of long coat, billowing kind of as he turns around, he heads back up the stairs, and everybody starts sort of drinking again. And then the food starts coming out, and it smells delicious. It is, basically, a lot of it is knucklehead trout, but it's been prepared in many different ways as appetizers, sort of amuse-bouches, and there's like a grilled version that comes out later.
Yeah.
It's a feast. Most of it is trout.
Just before he leaves, can I do one thing? Whilst everyone is in the room, detect magic.
Whoa. Changing it up.
Okay. You don't notice any magic in this room at the moment.
Okay. That is comforting.
So none of you drink the golden liquid. Okay. All right.
You
I will.
crazy.
I will drink the golden liquid.
It is the most delicious
I'ma
mead
miss
you
you.
have ever tasted. It warms you from the inside out. It tastes like you're eating honey on bread on a warm summer's day. And for a little bit, it feels like you're not in this cold place.
Zuxa, are my pupils dilated right now?
Can't tell. Your eyes always look really black. I try and get closer. No, they look fine. They look fine.
Okay, well then this is just really fucking good.
I abruptly get up. And follow up the stairs after Kadaroth. I don't even say anything. I just move.
I'll go with her.
And as I hear Caliban get up behind me, I say, I don't like waiting.
I turn to Akeem and I go, your young friend there, the lovely tiefling lady that's just climbed the stairs. She's a little, how should we say, forceful of personality there?
See, I put a hand on his shoulder and go, that is one you don't want to get on the bad side of.
Yes, no, I totally gather that. And to be honest, I've had my fill of knucklehead trout for as long as I can possibly remember. The only person that likes it is Lox down here. Have you met Lox? Sorry, Akeem, this is Lox, my little fox.
Nice
Lox
to meet
sort of
you,
looks
Lox.
up, tweaks an ear, and just eats knucklehead trout.
Again, I don't want to do too much with Bill's character, but he would be like, and cast Speak with Animals and start talking to Lox.
And
Just been like,
is very
if you
happy
just been
to
like,
chat.
yeah. How are you doing, little guy? What color is it? Is it like a snow fox, or is it like a red, or?
It's a red fox. It's a red
Yeah.
fox.
It's like,
And
we don't get too many of your type up here.
no, I'm following him.
Is he a good master?
He's the best. He rescued me as a pup. I've been with him ever since. He's
Aw.
lovely.
Okay.
He's
it
a
seems
bit-
like I might have
he's a
misjudged him a bit.
He's a bit.
Yeah, he does. He comes like him and Caliban both keep calling this place a shithole, and I'm like, go somewhere else then.
Meh.
I would if I could, man.
All right, so Caliban and Zaxar headed up the stairs following Kadroth,
Yeah.
and you went as immediately as quickly as possible when he turned around.
I would have seen her be like put down like mid bite on the salmon and like yeah, no yeah like yeah no totally I don't like being kept waiting either.
All right.
I
Really
turned to
clearly
her.
looking at all the food going, oh.
You swear somewhere you can hear spiders coming growl at all the food and drink being consumed.
Is anyone else following, or just those two?
I turn to Akeem and Duergar and go, I don't want to be a party pooper or impose myself in any way upon your good fellows, but I do suggest that we follow them, because I have a sneaking suspicion that trouble is abound.
Do I have time to turn to the others and just do this?
To the not following you?
Yeah.
Not if you were chasing after Zaxar, like you.
Okay, then never mind.
You wouldn't have heard them say that.
Okay.
So do you?
Yeah, I hang back with Aurea.
Shall we go?
I feel like we should probably stay, but then realizing that most of them are gone already, I get up and look at Aurea and go,
All right, very well. And he gets up and adjusts himself, and he's like, Lux, come on, keep an eye on the rear.
I was actually hoping he would stay, but but seeing him get up and go, mm-hmm, yes, we shall go.
All right.
Let's follow them.
As we're going up the stairs, I say to Zaxa, perhaps honey is the key here and not vinegar. You should take point. I'll defer to your words.
And I look at him like, okay.
Did you take this? Do you take?
Would you
Rama
rather
with you?
I take?
Oh no! It's just a like.
Really, bro?
Akeem, do you take Grandma with you or leave her seated by herself at the table?
Oh no. Well, I kind of like the idea of Grandma being by herself, but I look over.
At the dinner table, just.
Not eating or drinking.
But I motion over for Grandma to come along.
Okay.
And she doesn't, but I go over, pick her up, and go, come.
And just as a heads up, DM, detect magic lasts 10 minutes.
Okay.
As we're heading into this room.
So you follow up, and you basically, so it's sort of like a little chain of people following him up the stairs, and he's taken the corridor on the west side into like a chamber. You can kind of see him go in, and you just follow him in and realize that you followed him into his bed chamber. As you walk in, you see a large gilded mirror covering most of the east wall, an ornately carved wooden table and chair upon which is some food and a drink that's been laid out for him, and a bed upon which is a little black cat.
Does the cat light up with my detect magic?
No.
Alright. Does anything light up?
No.
Cool.
As you walk in, he turns around and says, "Well, really, this is not what I meant, but sure, do come in." What can I do for you all?
Well, I think you could start by giving us more of an explanation as to why we're really here.
You're here because your endeavors took you here. We're merely
Fine.
offering a room.
And how do you think we can help you achieve this defeat against your rivals?
We've been tasked with opposing them. We've been told that you have opposed them and will oppose them again in the future. We trust the visions the Lord of the Fifth gives us.
You seem to have quite a nice setup here. We could certainly oppose this common enemy of ours far more effectively with an upgrade in armaments.
I'm afraid we don't have that much in the armory, to be honest. I don't know what you're looking for, but
Plate armor wouldn't go amiss.
nothing like that, I'm afraid.
That's fair.
Yes.
No, sorry, DM.
Okay.
Sorry, DM question. Can I use my eye for detail and roll a perception check and look for hidden stuff and objects and
In this room, yes? Okay.
in this room?
Sure.
And that's going to be a 23.
Whew. All right. Pa, 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 pa. Now, in this room, you don't really notice much. Sorry.
Okay. And I'm standing at the doorway, and I'm sort of getting my pipe out and lighting it.
Wait. Yeah, I guess with a roll that high, you might just notice that this room has been very well kept.
Okay.
It's regularly cleaned, dusted. The fire is the most well tended to in the entire building that you've seen so far. And the flames are pretty much roaring, as if like they're not let get any smaller than fully roaring fire.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do for you guys?
Well, I don't think that the explanations you've given us are anywhere near adequate. I'm not signing on to a blank check of whatever it is you envision us doing. I don't think besides having a common foe, what else? What other bonds would really tie us? I'm grateful for the bed for the evening, but I feel like you have an idea of our being here as being more significant than simply that. And I guess I should really tell you that we have extremely important business to attend to, and unless you can be more specific, we're going to have to go.
Sure. Understand, all I am offering is a place to stay for people that we've been told have a common interest. We're not asking anything of you. You will do it without us. We trust the visions. We know you will oppose them.
Do you mind if I interrupt, young lady?
Not at all.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Two further questions on this topic, and then one sort of minor aside conversation that I just kind of want to know. For the two minor conversations is, how are you going to get your visions now that the person who gave you your visions has suddenly passed on?
And you see him kind of... You notice something fleeting on his face for a second. And then he says, whilst it's true that without Hethel, we will not have such clear visions of what's to come, we still get given information by the Lord of the Fifth. He tells us what to expect and what to do.
And how, pray tell, does he communicate with your peoples?
It is hard to explain this to a non-believer, but we hear his voice in our soul.
Ah, yes. Direct communication with the divine. Yes, I've heard of this. Interesting. Yes. And then the sidebar question, which is slightly interesting. Have you ever seen another one of me? I know tabaxis are not normal up here in the frosty north, but seen a tabaxi like, well, similar to me, but a little grey in the whisker.
Oh, you looking for a specific person?
Yes.
I can't say that I have, but we haven't been here very long. So depending on when he might have passed through, we might have missed him.
Well, that's true. Yes. Anyway, thank you very much for your information. And thank you very much for the bed for the night. I shall ponder. I don't know about these lovely compatriots here. I shall ponder your thought process and then get back to you. Yes, I will.
Very
I just
well.
butt in and go, I'm not very good with these riddle talk. What exactly do you expect from us?
Nothing.
Ugh.
Taken aback by this, I look even more confused and upset and go,
And then
What
Duergar,
is-
I imagine, would just be like, "This is why I don't go to cities. Everything's simple out in the wastes."
I feel like I've been misunderstood. Let me explain one more time. We have been given instructions, divine instructions, that you are destined for a great deed in the future, and that we should be of service and help wherever we can. That is all we offer. We ask for nothing in exchange, except perhaps courtesy, and maybe not to be followed in one's own bedchambers.
No, you like. I never mind. All right. Be at this, and I walk out.
I'll walk out as well.
I'm gonna say to Caliban, we need to cut. We need to get out of here.
Agreed. Perhaps not at this time. Let's just wake up early and make our way.
As you two exits, he takes a seat at his table, and the cat jumps in his lap. He gives it a couple of strokes, and then grabs his utensils to start eating, and he looks up to see if you guys are also leaving.
I go, bon appetit, and turn around and leave.
He lifts a glass full of the same kind of golden liquid and gives
I
it down.
look to him almost to be like, I'm still not done with you, but I'm like, I know you're not gonna give me a straight answer, so I go,
Okay.
walk out.
I say to Zuxa, well, if they're not going to give us information, perhaps they have something else to give. Is Rover near us? Like, is it as a spider form?
He's in
I'm
Zax's
on.
pocket.
I'm just assuming on
Yeah.
Duergar's. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on shoulders.
I
I'm on
will
Duergar's
lean
shoulder, slash
into
pocket.
Rover and
I'll be
say, I would appreciate it if you went for a walk and made a mental note of anything valuable, up to and including armor.
No, I think we need to. They know that he's here. They know that he's here, and we could spend a long time trying to search this castle. When I think it's more important that we move on and go about the business that we were meant to go about before we were waylaid here, and
That's fair.
ended up wasting all this time. At least that's what I think. I think this particular this particular thing is disquieting and unclear, and I think that it's best that we try to leave and move to Easthaven and go to Easthaven. That's what I think we should do.
You having this conversation and moving back into the great hall and taking your seats at the table.
I was just gonna say, if Caliban did actually try and whisper that, he would try and crawl down Duergar and try and pick up something on his belt, like a dagger, which a spider obviously can't pick up, to be like, how can I bring you armor?
Caliban very clearly said, make a mental note.
He's just like, he just like,
Zach dropped out for a second.
Caliban very
Also,
clearly said, make a
those who
mental
weren't-
note.
If you're forgetting, I already scouted the entire place.
I thought that had happened. Like,
Yeah, we already scouted the place.
Did we
like,
scout the armory as well?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm
I
just
went to
gonna
every
tell you
room.
now, like just so that you don't.
Alright, like,
There was
I would have dropped it there.
A rack with 20 spears and a wooden chest in that room.
Lame.
And 8 longbows with 8 quivers hanging from hooks.
This ain't a castle, it's a hovel.
It's a fort.
Fort lame is what it is.
Okay. As the evening wears on, people start to kind of leave the Great Hall. And you stay.
Are we still there?
Well, you went back to the Great Hall. You didn't tell me you left.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, you
I'm
know,
hungry.
I guess as a cat, I mean, I'm frustrated. I feel like we should be leaving, and I feel like I don't understand why we're still here when we don't know what's going on and it feels dangerous.
Almost everyone has left after, like, sort of towards the end of dinner. They're sort of going back to their own quarters. You just see Mir and the young boy Alasar sort of cleaning the tables and taking things into the kitchen and into the storage area. But you guys are left to talk at the table if you want. You can do whatever you like. You have to just tell me what you want.
I say to Zuxa, this place makes me uneasy as well. I promise you that. But I don't know that out there at this time of night is any safer.
Well, we have a town just literally just outside this gate. Like, there's a town down there. They sent us here, but we could always make an effort to leave. Why is it that we wouldn't be able to? What's the reluctance in leaving?
Not that we wouldn't be able to leave, but I don't know if there was anywhere we could stay in the town. That was the problem.
Maybe, but do we have to stay in the town instead of staying in this viper's nest? I don't understand why we would be maybe we'd encounter something out there, but I think that's safer than being in here.
If you would be more at ease being outside of this place, I have no objections of leaving tonight.
Though we haven't been formally introduced, by the way, I'm Dr. Oreo Nostro, young lady. I have to say that I completely agree with your sentiments. My little fur is up on end, and Lox's tail is twitching, and I think that this place is as creepy as hell. And I really don't want to stay here overnight. It will be I think bad things might happen.
If Dervik did another Speak with Animals, he would also get the same sentiment from Rover and be like, yeah, I mean, me and Rover both prefer outside anyway.
Okay. So do you guys want to...
Yeah, we'll make our way.
Cool. You head out
where?
into the courtyard.
Okay.
Oh wait, I probably should have mentioned Rover in front of a stranger.
And you make it into the courtyard. It's kind of still snowing. There's quite a bit of wind. You get up to the gates, and do you shout out to be let out?
Yes.
There is a pause for slightly longer than you think. Would be like, oh, maybe they haven't heard us. But then the doors open once again automatically without, you can see some mechanisms and pulleys, but most of them are hidden from view. And the doors just open as if magic, but you're allowed out.
All right.
I take a deep breath. I already feel more at ease just being outside of the walls.
Now you know how me and Rover feel.
And I turn to Aria Nostra and I sort of say, as you might have already realized, I'm not very good at the hello, how are yous, so and what have you. So I guess I'll just dive right in and ask, were you invited here by Kadroth? Were you invited here, or was there another reason that you came to be in this place?
Well, in Icewind Dale itself, or this weird, creepy cult place?
This weird, creepy place.
The weird, creepy cult place. Yes. I remember in my youth there was a creepy cult. There's Scientology, and I remind you somewhat of this. I think that anyway, moving on. Yes. Well, I was invited, which was a bit strange in the first place, but I had ulterior motives. I have to say that I didn't come to Icewind Dale out of choice. I have come on a sort of a personal quest. My errant father has gone missing in Icewind Dale, and unfortunately I need to find him. And that's the last message I got was he was up here in this frozen place, and one has to check and chase one's pater, especially when he's as errant as mine.
Of course, but what had brought him here? What could have possibly brought him here?
Well, knowing my father, well, wine, woman, and song was generally his downfall.
Sounds like my kind of fella.
Well, Akeem, I'm sure when you meet you, he will open a bottle of, or actually probably a vat of wine and celebrate with you. But
Look forward to the
he
day.
usually leads people astray, and that's generally the problem.
Personal curiosity here, but I turn to Oriar and I say, how much do you think a single loaf of bread costs?
In Icewind Dale or my hometown?
Either.
My hometown, well, we don't really go for bread so much. It's not particularly a cat tabaxi thing, you know. It's
Icewind Dale, then.
well, I haven't actually bought much bread here, to be honest. I would assume a copper piece, something like that.
Okay, that's a better answer than I was expecting. Never mind, as you were.
Thank you. Strange question, but here we go.
I fully expected him to say, what, 10 gold?
Yeah.
Robert?
The DM would, having heard this and having seen him and like trying to picture, in all my time in Icewind Dale, have I ever met another tabaxi that could match as a rough description? I'm happy just to take a deep.
At disadvantage because you can't tell them apart from regular house cats.
I'm a druid.
That is very racist.
I'm a druid. I can turn into different house cats. Thank you very much.
Damn. What you trying to say? All Tibetans look alike?
Your game's a little quiet, man.
What you trying to say?
History.
All Tabaxi look
That's
alike?
just that. Having said that, that is just an 8. So
No, you haven't.
yeah,
You don't think so. You only come into town for beer, so you haven't.
Yeah.
You didn't meet him. At least you don't think.
I haven't had any drinking stories with the tabaxi. Any nights out?
So, do you guys wanna? So, you in town, the only place that seemed open, the tavern, told you that the only place to sleep in was the castle because the inn was closed.
All right.
Do you want to
so
head out to Easthaven? It is now, let's say, 9-10 p.m. at night. It's a
Maybe we
It's
just-
a 9-hour journey.
maybe we find a bank or something and settle down for the evening. Oriar, is it? Sorry.
Orion, yes. Orion,
Orion. Orion. What do you do? What can you do?
Well, somewhat impertinent question, young man.
To interrupt this, suddenly, like, I'm assuming we're away from
Let's say
town.
a pack of wolves assaulted us right now. What would you do?
I feel like this somewhat is a job interview. I have
Maybe
to say,
it
I
is.
haven't applied for the position of.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yes. Last time I did a job interview, right, I was applying for the International Investigation Society. But yes. What do? I make things. I investigate things, and I find things out, and then if something gets in my way or I have problems, I stab it in the back.
So you prefer subterfuge and knives?
Well, actually, he pats his trusty cookery. He's got a big, large cookery, the sort of Gurkha knife on his side. I trust Bessie here. He pats the cookery, and Tabitha, and he pulls out his crossbow, his hand crossbow, and Locks, and my ability to make sure that you don't see me ever when I'm coming.
As much as I
Okay.
enjoy this banter,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but suddenly, now they're away, and all of a sudden there is a 7.5-foot tall man in the party.
God! Jesus! Don't do that to me. I have a heart attack in a third.
see, I shudder and go, I never get used to that.
And like this big grinning Goliath just stares down at you and just goes, "Hello, I'm Rover."
Why don't we just find a secluded snowbank and bed down, rustic style?
I don't know about you, but I want to rest before a 9-hour walk.
Yes.
You're speaking my language. I like the cold.
Well, I don't like the cold, but you can set a fire and whip up some tea, and we'll all be happy together.
As
I
you
will
say
use.
this, and
When he says set a fire, I will use Legacy of Avernus. Drag my sword across my horns. Just.
to show you up, I create a bonfire.
Okay, where?
Just like in amongst the group.
All right.
We could. I sort of say we remember when we were told by the innkeeper that many people had to leave recently. There could be a lot of abandoned buildings or places we could.
Oh, so now you're okay with breaking into buildings?
Well, when faced with sleeping in some snow and breaking into a building.
And both Duergar and Rubber will both be sleeping in the snow and making camp and digging out a little thing for the night.
I'm sure that like the young lady, I prefer not to rough it if one has it. And if there's an empty house going by, it's not really breaking and entering. It's kind of more like borrowing temporarily.
I haven't picked a lock in a while. How nimble are you?
And he puts out his claws and goes, "You see these? You think they're for death?"
I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but it'll do. All right, squatting it is.
All right. So do you
Sorry,
guys?
Rover.
Do you guys try to find a place that's?
I've just
empty?
lost all of your audio.
Have you?
Oh.
La la.
Testing,
Do you all hear each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Zen.
We can
We
hear
can
each
all
other.
hear
We
each
can
other.
hear
I
you.
can hear everybody.
And we
Just
hear
that
you.
I hear you. And you can hear me.
Refresh.
This is really
Refresh.
weird. I don't know why. I didn't touch anything.
F5, F5.
Okay, I'm gonna
Hold on.
stop talking because you're all
I'll text him to
miming, right?
refresh.
Hold on.
No.
All right. Let's see if he does it. Any luck, Min? No, you've just gone mute.
In the meantime, DM, can I roll a little investigation check? And,
Yes. Anyone that wants to look for an abandoned place, you can roll an investigation check.
Ooh.
Oh, it's terrible.
What was it, young lady? How was your investigations going?
Was 6.
Yes, okay, maybe not so good too.
Yeah, not so good.
Mine was a 25. One of my little skills. I like to look at things.
So you see, you all see, is Akeem still not getting any audio? We can't hear you now.
We can't hear him now.
So you've muted yourself.
So somehow
I don't know. No?
we can't hear him.
1 second. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
A boppity boppity.
I can't hear you, but if you can hear us,
One word.
Sounds like-
Beep, 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 beep.
you wanna? Oh, Romeo, you wanna get that? So we have a dog being delivered to us.
Doggo delivery.
All right. It still can't hear you.
Yeah, for some reason. Here.
You wanna try refreshing and coming back into the chat? The joys of tech.
As we've kind of hit a natural pause, I'm just going to pop to very quickly
Okay.
because there's no.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Mother.
The joys of technology.
How about now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
It sounds different, so I don't know if
Okay.
it's the same mic.
This
but-
should be better.
Okay.
No. So I just switched mics because earlier on you couldn't hear me from either, and now you can hear me from both. I didn't touch nothing.
There's a weird little delay, I think, but
Because at
other than
first
that-
because all of a sudden you all just went like completely out mid-sentence, and there was nothing that was pressed,
Wow.
nothing that was changed, but the volume had all of a sudden just gone down.
Yeah.
So after a little bit of digging, I was like, why?
Oh,
Nope.
and now he's gone. Oh dear. Hey,
It just kicked me out as soon as I said why. I think
questioned it. You dared to question it.
just don't say the W word.
Yeah.
Yes.
It sounds a bit harsher, so I don't know if it's a different mic or what. But
Harsher?
Yeah.
Should be better and smoother and all kinds of sexy.
all right.
Is that better?
What yeah, that's fine. I think. Okay. So what you guys see is Oreo deftly, like if you ever seen a house cat that's trying to find like the source of a noise with purpose, weaving in and out of the buildings, finds what a rover knows as Dinev's Rest, which is the inn that's been closed for over a year, and it's got boarded up windows. And it seems to have been abandoned and empty for a while, as far as you can tell.
Shall I open sesame the doors?
Please. Please.
That's a.
That was not the dog.
That's a 16.
16. You're able to kind of prise open the lock, and the door opens. It's kind of dark inside, like there's no lighting or anything that you can see. You guys are all behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have dark vision, so I look in.
So
and,
do I.
Why?
Okay. So it is complete darkness, so it's only you can see kind of like as if it's dim. It's just kind of this little entrance. Well, actually, it's a closed in. So you open it, and there's like tables. Most of there's chairs that are kind of on the tables. There's a lot of drapes over things, but you can only see a little bit of it. But you go in fully, like, and sort of have a look around.
I do.
Yeah, let's go in. Looks fine to me.
Okay.
Do we smell anything? Do we kind of
As
what
you
do we smell?
as you walk in, you smell it's very musty and kind of like it's not really been cleaned or tended to in a long time. But the cold makes it not particularly strong. You know, it's not like a strong smell. It's just old and kind of a little bit moldy.
As we're walking in, I'll step in front of the Arayo and say, I should go first. Stuff bounces off me a little bit more easily than others.
Please be my guest. I will just stand back and watch.
I will cautiously go in.
I need you all to roll a stealth check.
Oh no.
Rolling for 2.
Okay, that's going in jail.
Okay, so
Nice. What'd you get, Akeem?
17.
4. 4.
Getting all of your vibes, my
Okay.
friends.
Oreo?
21.
Oh
Nice.
shit!
Okay.
Came here with a big.
Duergar got a 6, and Rover got a 15.
Okay. As you kind of walk in, Zaxa, Caliban, and Duergar. Is it Duergar got how much? 6?
Yeah.
Kind of stumble together, clink.
my chainmail is just wind
Yeah.
chime at this point.
You both bump into Caliban and basically rustle him like he's a wind chime that's been rung, you know? And suddenly you hear creaking upstairs. And then silence. What do you do?
Hide. I try to hide.
The-
And I look at Caliban like, what is he doing? Like, if he's hiding, what is he
Well,
here?
Can I? What else is around us that I can potentially jump and grab onto?
Well, there's tables with chairs on them stacked in the corner. There's a few crates. There's the bar. You could jump behind the bar potentially.
See, I try to jump on top of the chairs that have been stacked up because
Okay.
that's the very least likely place that someone would look.
Roll a dexterity check.
Yep, I knew that was coming. Dexterity check. 10.
All right. There, you make it like you're perched on top of like precariously stacked bunch of chairs, but you're fine for now.
Yeah.
Good like the swaying.
I think Durbik would get somewhere if there's an obvious place door to upstairs. I think he'd actually go like he's not stealthy, he's not scared. He's all like, oh no, I'm just gonna go to like he's gonna open the door, but he gets ready at that door. And then Rover would probably go towards the bar and pour himself a drink and just be like, finally.
So he's standing like at the bottom of the stairs with the door going
The
up.
door there, so if there's an obvious doorway up, yeah, he'd be kind of like standing ready to like somewhere to pounce out onto them, or like, you know, not directly in front, but like to the side, so that as they kind of came through, he could be like,
Okay. So the door opens.
Can I sneak? Can I hide somewhere and just sort of wait?
Yeah.
I would also like to do that.
With your stealth check, you're basically invisible at the moment. Like the others don't know where you've gone. You're hidden.
Can I also attempt to hide?
Okay, where? Like you've made noise, so you know you're not. You made a lot of noise.
There's shit draped off the tables and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, some of them.
I get under one of the draped.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Natural 18 and disadvantage. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So I rolled an 18 and 11. So stealth. 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Durbik sees the door kind of fling open, and is hearing the sound of footsteps, but he can't see anything. And then, like the moment the door opens, they stop suddenly. What would you like Durbik to do?
this is something Durbik doesn't understand. Doors open, there should be something to snack or to talk to or to... he's just gonna be like, I think he's just gonna sit there very confused.
Okay.
He's just like...
I need you all to roll for initiative. Yeah, you can...
Can I roll? Sorry,
Yeah.
Can I roll a perception check to use my eye for detail?
Does that give you what? Like, tell me again.
So
What?
it's basically a roll perception check to spot a hidden creature or an object.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Do I have time to use divine sense?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
But you're hidden under the table, so do it with this. Oh, yeah, sure.
DM, you sounded so defeated as you said that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So your roll specifically gives you ability to see hidden creatures.
Yeah, hidden creature. So it's perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or make an investigation check to uncover and decipher clues.
Okay.
So that'll be a 19.
19. You are sure some people have walked into the room.
Okay.
You can't see them, but you know exactly where they were.
Okay. Cool.
And you need to roll for initiative.
What did my divine sense give off?
Nothing.
Okay.
1 second. I'm gonna.
Oh,
I have
yes.
to create the encounter.
3. Oh.
3 plus 2, so gives me a 5.
Alright.
Yay.
Yay.
You got so Akeem's got 5. What was Oreo?
12.
12. Zaxa?
11.
11. Can someone roll for Durbik and anyone else?
I've already rolled it. I'm just assuming that I'm playing as him.
Okay.
So Durbik got a 13 and Rover got a 12.
Okay.
Caliban got a 21 and Grandma got a 10.
I'm gonna add Grandma. 1 second.
I've got grandma.
Oh, it added Grandma as an enemy. Never mind. All right. All right. Well, you guys are quite lucky, but Caliban, it is. Wait. Why does Oreo have negative 12? 1 second. Undo. Stupid thing. 1 second. Sorry, I might have to get you guys to retell me your things. All right. Sorry. Let's go. Caliban, what was it?
21 and Grandma 10.
Okay. Akeem?
I said it was 5.
Sorry.
Because 3 and plus 2.
For Rover, it was 13 for Durbik. Oreo?
12.
12. And Zaxa?
11.
11. Thank you. Sorry about that. And Grandma, 10. Okay. Start. There we go. Caliban, you know something's up, but you have no idea what it is. The door just opened, but you...
Door just opened and I didn't see anything
You're,
with divine
you're under
sense.
no, you don't. You're peering from under a table, like under a tablecloth, and you can't see anything.
All right. Did I hear? And so where the door opened, that general area, would it be my action to sort of stand up and fling the cloth, in that direction?
The door is at the top of the stairs. It's where the rooms for the inn are. So all you can see is the stairwell kind of coming down from the position that you're in. And the door's open and Durbek's at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Okay. I guess I will use my movement to get as far in that direction as I can.
Oh, you're going up, like towards the stairs? Okay.
Yeah.
You can probably get to the bottom where Durbek is. It's a narrow set of stairs, so you'd have to push past him to go up them.
I will do that.
Okay. You're about halfway up the stairs. What do you do?
I already said I'd use Legacy of Avernus, so I'm gonna hold my action to make an attack on anything, thing I deem to be a threat that appears.
Okay.
And bonus action Shield of Faith on myself.
Sure. Okay, it's Durbek's turn.
Can Durbek make a perception check to see if he can tell what's just happened? Like, you know, if there are people that are somehow hidden or disguised.
He can do it
where
with,
they are.
Yep, with disadvantage.
Yeah. That's alright. That's a 14 again.
He's not sure.
Yeah, as far as he can tell, then nothing's up. So he's just like, something's weird, but he's just gonna wait. And if he can kind of notices anybody kind of pushing past him at the bottom of the stairs, he's gonna
So
with his axe.
ready an action to attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rover.
Rover. Can Rover also roll a perception check?
Sure, with disadvantage.
Sorry, with disadvantage. Oh, that's a bit better. That's 19.
He heard footsteps coming up to the stair, like to the door. So like he definitely heard someone was there. He can't see them, but he thought that he heard someone come and open the door.
So is that from up the stairs?
Yeah.
In that case, like quickly down the beer, run up, and then kind of center it on where the door is. He's going to cast Entangle.
Okay. I need to roll dexterity checks, don't I?
It's a strength check.
Strength check?
Yeah, a strength saving throw to be restrained by the plants. It's 20 foot square centered on a point within range, and for the duration, that area is also difficult terrain.
Okay. And what's the DC?
DC is going to be 14.
Strength, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 things passed it, 1 has failed, for reference.
Okay. So would we see where those vines kind of grabbed onto them?
Yeah, you'd see like 2 smallish humanoid-sized things have been grasped by this. Okay. It is now Orio's turn.
I sneak behind the Durbek and Rover at the bottom of the stairs, and guys at the bottom of the stairs, and I.
Ooh. Sorry, that's a bit loud. Yep.
And I get as close and I hide, and I ready my action with Tabitha the hand crossbow and ready to fire.
Okay. Sorry, I said two. So two passed and one failed, but I didn't. I narratively described two figures. Only one figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. That's fine. I got. Yeah.
It is now Zaxot's turn. You see at the top of the stairs, like vines wrapped around something.
Is it just you said it was two different?
I said I made a mistake. One creature is wrapped in vines that it seems invisible.
Okay. I'd like to use Mind Sliver on that.
Okay. Do I have to roll something for that, don't I? Or do you have to roll to attack?
It's a saving throw, I think.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, let me see. And what save is it?
14?
But which stat? Is it intelligence?
Oh, I'm sorry. Intelligence, yes.
All right. Your mind is like sends out a psychic sort of attack, and you're able to kind of guess the position of this creature and enter its mind, and it has an effect. You want to roll for damage?
It says target must succeed on window to take 1d6 damage and subtract 1d4.
So how much damage?
4.
4 psychic damage.
Wait.
Yeah?
Do I add anything to this, or is it just...
Not to that one.
No, it's just okay. 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it will have now disadvantage on saving throws for spells. So something you're able to enter something's mind and sort of attack it from its own brain, but you just still don't know what exactly yet. It is now Grandma's turn, but she hasn't had no instructions. She doesn't know what's happening.
Fine. In that case, she would probably just follow me and stand next to me.
Okay. Hakeem, it is your turn.
How dark is it? Can we
It is
see
pitch
what-
black. You can because you have dark vision as a half elf. You see as if it's very dim lighting, so you can see things, but it's kind of dark. Like you really like for
Hard to make it out, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I want to help everyone out, but I also want to see what's going on. So I cast Flaming Sphere.
Okay.
You're gonna torch this whole building.
Where do you cast it onto?
Really?
I'm at the top. Yeah, I know. I'm at the top of the chairs, right?
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of an advantage that I can kind of see roughly how much room there is. I cast it just to the right of the vines enrapturing this creature,
Okay.
but in the center of the room. So wherever is the
There's the vines are still at the top of the stairs.
okay. So in that case, I cast it in the center of the room so that we illuminate and can see as much of the room as possible.
Okay. The room lights up with sort of a yellow sort of red light, and sort of casts shadows sort of everywhere, sort of as if a bonfire has been lit, which it has. Okay, it is now the guy that got entangled's turn, and he's going to appear and grow to a large size. You recognize this kind of creature before. It is a Duergar, like you fought in that outpost.
Oh balls!
Shit.
So he grows to a large size and tries to get out of his restraints. Do I get advantage? I think I do on strength checks.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Saving throws at advantage. So, yep, he breaks free. You see him just like a dwarf pop out of nowhere, enlarged to the size of an ogre, and just rip the vines apart off of him and grab his war pick.
The word of Obi-Wan. I've got a bad feeling about this.
And that's his action. Next to him, 2 more appear and grow to large size, and run down the stairs. Caliban was at the top, was he?
I was at the top.
All right. They will. Well, now they don't both fit on the stairs, so only one will attack you. The other one's behind.
Can I attack him as well because I was holding my action
Yes,
to do that?
you can do that, and Oreo can fire.
Okay. Oh. 9.
9 misses.
Okay. That's fair.
And Oreo?
That's going to be a dirty 20.
Oh, that definitely hits.
And that's going to be 5 points of damage.
Like out of nowhere, you see you also kind of like feel and hear a crossbow bolt fly past and hit the large Duergar right under one of the scale mail bits of his armor and pierce underneath, and he lets out a grunt like of pain.
Just heard it. It's good.
The one behind the one at the top is going to jump off the stairs and run towards. Who is he going to see?
I'm the first one,
No,
I
but
think.
you're on top of the stairs, and
He just jumped off.
his friend's blocking the path, so he leaps off. And
Right.
he's going to run for Durbik and attack Durbik.
Durbik had a held action to attack the first thing that kind of came near him.
Yep, so that'll be him, this guy. He can attack first.
And I'm going to. Am I allowed to say that would be a reckless attack?
Sure.
So that would be a 17 to hit.
That hits.
D12. That will be 12 slashing damage
Oof.
with his great axe.
Okay.
Ooh.
And he'd just be like, be a real dwarf.
Okay, so that, like, you see, like, the axe kind of, like, cleave right through the scale mail and deep into the Duergar's chest, and he hits back. And he misses.
He gets to attack with advantage because I did recklessly attack him.
Oh, one more. Also misses. All right, just to make sure I re-describe the scene in case it's not clear. It is now lit up with a bonfire in the middle of the room. There is 2 Duergar on the stairs that you can see that have grown to large size, and one has leapt off the banister into the room and has tried to attack Durbik. Okay. Suddenly, a javelin flies out of nowhere and heads towards Oreo. A 7 doesn't hit, does it? But
Nope.
a Duergar appears right at the top of the stairs, still small, like, and he comes out of invisibility for having done this attack. So there are now 4 attackers. One of them is still small. 3 of them are large-sized. And that's all you can see at the moment. It is now back to Caliban's turn.
Just trying to think what he would do in the situation. I will say to Grandma, attack anyone who grew magically just now.
Why are you gonna make it so complex for this poor mummy?
Fine, I will. Well, you know, I'm worried you're
That
gonna
guy.
use the monkey's paw shit and try to, like, make me attack my friends or something with using the mummy. I'll say to Grandma, attack the Duergar!
Okay.
I will, yell out... I want to get them to attack me, or try to at least. I'll
Just
try
say that
some...
You killed their friend. Just say you killed their friend over in that other place.
Yeah.
You decapitated him
Yeah.
Exactly.
for no apparent
All
reason
their
whatsoever.
friends.
I met your kind before.
Their nearest and dearest.
Not a bad idea.
Isolated
Okay,
places to smash
I
them.
will
your
yell
cousin?
out, more Duergar to slaughter, just like the witless petrified turds I killed.
That's
and
a bit
the-
long, but sure.
Oh,
Okay, fine.
shit. I mean, remember there's a battle going on, so you don't want to.
Fine, I will yell just like the ones I slaughtered at the fort, and I will take the dodge action.
Take the dodge action. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna try taunting them basically.
Okay. What will Durbek's turn? So what will he do?
He's gonna rage, baby, rage.
Okay.
And I need to remind myself
rage.
of what that.
What is? Can you remind me? Sorry, what does that mean for us again in attacking?
Oh,
if
right.
he-
So when he rages, people that are a certain distance from him, I'll look it up in a second, get
Well,
advantage.
we're all close enough. We're all close
Yeah,
enough. To
they
be
get
within-
advantage on their weapon attacks. So it doesn't help people with spells, but anyone that's fighting with weapons will get advantage.
Okay.
I was about to go all spell crazy up in this bit.
It's within 5 feet. We're not. Sorry, just to be clear, it's within 5 feet. So it has to be someone who's right next to him. It's not just like a range of like 20 feet. He's right at the bottom of the stairs.
So
Most
if you're
people-
both attacking
they're
the same
only one
guy,
road.
basically, that works out.
Yeah. Just FYI. That's cool. And yeah, he's going to recklessly attack this dark, evil dwarf in front of him. That's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
That's going to be another 10 slashing damage.
Okay. So, I mean, for anyone that's not completely like taken aback by the craziness that's happening, you can see what, Durbek a little bit, especially with the flames like lighting up his face like sort of a crazy woodland person. You can see that he's so much more comfortable here than he was at dinner. He's like, yes, please. This I understand. And he carves another huge chunk out of the shoulder of this giant dwarf in front of him. And this guy is pretty beaten up bad. He's bleeding all over the place. And you can see that, he's pale already, but the blood is draining fast from his face. He's very hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Rover's turn.
Yeah. So Caliban's like halfway up the stairs.
Yeah.
And how much more feetage of stairs is there between him and the rest?
Assume a length of about 20 feet of stairs. Caliban's the middle, so there's another 20 feet
Yeah,
to the
so
top.
he's about 20 feet to the top. Okay.
I mean, 20 feet, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's easy. Well, in that case, is that what I want to do? Yeah, I've been waiting to use a spell. So kind of centering it at the top of the stairs again. He's going to forget the impact of all that difficult terrain disappears.
Okay.
And is instead replaced with a bunch of spikes and thorns
Okay.
as he casts spike growth.
Okay. So
So for every... Yeah.
so there's still
Basically, I don't want to get Caliban in it,
Yeah.
but I want it to be it's about 20-foot area of effect on a point, and it's if you move every 5 foot you move in it, you take 2d4 damage.
Do people already take damage?
Transformation 2 foot series. The everyone's terrain. When a creature moves into the area, it takes So it's when it moves into it, or whenever it moves in it, so it doesn't happen straight away. It's on their turn.
Okay, so you guys see like these spikes, like giant. Have you ever seen Beauty and the? It's not a Beauty and the Beast. Sleeping Beauty. When those vines kind of like grow when they're trying to stop the prince from leaving, that kind of thorny stuff grows out and envelops and kind of grows all between the Duergar at the top of the stairs. And it's now back to Orio's turn.
I turn Tabitha and hand crossbow and fire at the Duergar that's in combat with Durbek.
Okay.
I can sneak attack the bastard.
Yes, you can. Roll.
And that's going to be a 22 to
That
hit.
definitely hits.
And so
Roll for damage.
Well, normal damage, that's 10, and then sneak attack is 2d6, so 16 damage.
Oof. You guys just, like, anyone that's still in the main room, so Zuxa, Akeem, and Rover, and Grandma, just see, like, a crossbow bolt poke out of the guy's mouth.
Oof.
And his eyes roll back, and he falls to the ground and returns to normal size, and he's dead.
Oh.
And not that anyone can see this at the moment, but Oreo just raises Tabitha and goes,
Okay, it is Zuxa's turn.
and I bonus action hide, sorry.
Okay, cool. Roll for stealth. Is there anyone specific in the room you want to hide? So just imagine like a tavern, like hall.
I'm hiding so I can get a line of sight on the next next Duergar. So 13.
Okay. Zaxa?
So I'm going to. I'm trying to remember where the other two, or where the other three are.
Let me try and. Sorry, I was gonna try and draw it for you because I had the map for the hall
okay.
ready.
It's okay. I guess the one closest to me, I'll whichever one is closest to me, I'll blast with an Eldritch Blast, and then bonus action Misty Step behind whatever bar is in the main hall, wherever drinks would have been served from.
Cool. The closest one to you is the one that's engaged with Caliban, so you can fire at him and then sort of step behind the bar. Okay. So roll to hit.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, nice. Nice. Roll for damage. That's double damage. That's 2d10 plus your modifier, right?
Okay. 8, 6, 14, and then what? 16.
16 damage total, including all the stuff. All right.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. So it's. Wait. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's.
Okay.
That's right.
Cool. So, you guys feel for you guys that have fought beside Zaxa before, you feel that like eldritch energy that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, as if something strange and unnatural has just walked past, like fly past and slams right into the torso of the Duergar that's engaged with Caliban, and just leaves a smoldering crater in the armor and just smoke coming out. And the guy looks very, very hurt. And suddenly Zaxa is not there anymore. Okay, Grandma's turn. She's going
Grandma's gonna attack the one I'm engaged with Rotting Fist.
Okay.
Is Running Fist just a nano? Just a
21.
21
is it just
It's just the fist that just.
it just suddenly shoots up out of nowhere? Like, it
Oh, that's good. 12 points of bludgeon damage plus 14 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, so you guys see the form of Grandma step, like from all bundled up in winter clothing. You can barely see her because you guys try to hide her form, and like suddenly this fist juts out, and you can tell that it's like a decomposing hand. Like, and you remember what Grandma really is, and she just reaches out and touches this guy on the face, and black veins pop through his skin, which is very pale and translucent already. So you can see them, like every single vein in his face, as his eyes go black, and he falls and kind of starts to rot before your eyes, and also starts shrinking back to his normal form. And he's
We
dead.
need to get you a cooler costume. Grandma will also, if I'm allowed to, get Grandma to get behind me.
She has movement, sure.
Yeah. Just I want to put as much of myself as I can between Grandma and the other Duergar.
Cool. It is now Akeem's turn. You can see there's two of the Duergar dead. You can see one at the top of the stairs that threw the javelin, and another one at the top of the stairs that's kind of coming down.
So Flaming Sphere is a concentration spell.
Yes.
So either I can move the Flaming Sphere so that it interacts with the people at the top of the stairs, or since we've been doing some damage to some of them already, I might change it up a little bit and go to my go-to Flaming Hands and torch some more up in here.
Okay. So you just remember it's 15 foot of reach, so you'll have to move in close, going sort of up the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that. So, I decide this time to stop my energy towards the Flaming Sphere, so that will go out.
By the way, you don't have to, because Flaming Hands is not concentration.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay,
you
my
can
bad.
keep them both. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were. Okay.
It's only
that
two
case-
concentration spells that you can't have at the same time.
Right. Because I thought Flaming Hands was concentrated. Anywho, I jump off from the top of the stairs, not stairs, the chairs, to as close to the stairs as possible.
Yep.
And as I run up the stairs, I gather as much energy as possible to cast Burning Hands to the very top of the stairs.
So you guys suddenly see the sort of form of Akeem hop down from the chairs, which like fall and stumble across the floor, making a loud ruckus, forcing you to kind of like turn around and look. And you just see him dart past, like edge past Grandma and Caliban. And once again, you see that sort of like flames sort of from his chest. It's almost as if his heart is glowing with fire, and then pouring through his hands and then out of his hands, lighting up the entire place with sort of yellow golden light as he casts flaming hands. Yes, Ben?
Dracuras Mares!
I would just like to say that the moving your sphere is your bonus action, so you can cast Flaming Hands and move the sphere.
Then I
Up to
will do
30
that.
feet.
'Cause,
Just for future context.
well, I move the sphere up.
Oh, as well.
Rather than being
Yeah,
not
you
to
can
the
do-
top of the stairs, but like up.
Towards
Just-
me.
All right.
Yeah, just enough that like if anyone wanted to toss or push one of the Duergar into it, that it's close enough to them.
Okay, so you guys also see like the bonfire that was basically in the middle of the room just shoot up and reach the top of the stairs as well. Roll for damage for your flaming hands, burning hands.
I roll a d20, right?
No.
Or-
Burning hands is just damage. I rolled to see if I miss it, but you have to roll for
Okay.
damage. It is
3d6.
3d6.
3d6, okay.
Unless you cast it at a higher level.
That's 3 of these 6-sided dice, right?
Yes.
Because I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that is, I believe, 21? Because I've got 9, 9, and 3. Sorry, 22.
Holy shit.
21.
All right. Okay. So I have to roll. That fails.
So how did you get 21?
No,
from
sorry.
36?
Because I'm seeing the little dot at the 6
Oh,
and
it's
9.
not
Thought that was
9,
the 9.
it's
It's a d6.
Yeah. 3d6 can max the
Yeah.
18.
15. 15. That's 15.
One.
Because yeah, like
maths
I'm so
thing.
used to seeing the little dot that when I see like the other way around, that I think it's a 9. So hey, it's my first time using all of these.
Okay. This was not a judgment.
15.
Die.
Okay.
Yeah, oh,
Die.
See? Oh my
Guys.
god! Jesus! Like
Die.
I'm
Once
used
you
to
get the dice-
one 6-sided die. So like
This is a
when-
dice addiction. This,
Wow. By the way, thank
Hold
you,
on,
Dre.
hold
I
on.
like the
I'm
dice.
sorry.
oh my god.
But yes, 15.
Okay, so
15
you
was
just see
my
all
answer.
these flames
15.
go through, and the burning hands. But the flaming sphere. How much damage does that cause if you're near it?
It's a save. You get to do a save on it too. Sorry, it's a dex saving throw for 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful
Okay,
one.
so roll 2d6
That.
now, Akeem, for that.
2d6. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 8.
Okay, 2 passes, 2 fails. 8. Holy shit. Alright.
You get.
4. Okay, everybody roll a perception check.
One of those. That's good.
9.
19.
19?
Not 2 15s. It's going to be a 19 and a 16. 19 for Rover.
That's cocked.
Oreo?
14.
Okay.
That is also cocked. Perception,
Yeah.
11.
Okay, so Zaxa and Rover, you definitely heard 4 voices scream, even though you can only see 2 people. Okay? And it is now Osbald, but the guy that was at the top of the stairs, like the first one, is now died. He's just crumbled to ash, basically. He took the brunt of it. He took the brunt of it.
There's not much of a description. He's
Sorry.
now died. He's just he's
sorry.
died. That's it.
Sorry. So the flames
Okay.
just shot up the stairs, and then the flaming sphere as well. And the two that you could see, you could see their flesh darken and blacken from the flames licking them, and one of them just kind of collapsed over, and his eye. Have you ever seen when a fish is cooked on the grill and the eyes turn white? Like that.
Oh.
See, at this point, you can still see Hakim's chest glowing, and I'm ready to still be.
So the guy that's left at the top of the stairs is going to enlarge himself, and he is going to try to run past you all to get to the door. Yeah, he just runs past, shoulder budging past Caliban, and tries to get to the door to run out.
Attacks of opportunity?
And anyone that's near the stairs.
Grandma and I will both
So
take
that'll be
one.
Caliban and Durbek, and Oreo can fire at him.
Right. Spike growth. First.
Oh, right. He takes how much damage?
He's moving through 20 feet worth, so that's going to be 8d4 damage.
All right.
Natural 20 on my attack of opportunity.
15. So that's going to be 20 points of slashing damage. Piercing damage, sorry.
All right. And Caliban?
I'm not going to put a Divine Smite into this one just because I feel like it's not going to be necessary.
Okay.
Still though, 4... No, okay, and this is just... Oh, wow!
How much damage?
Fuck all. 8.
Okay.
I rolled a
So
3
you
and a
guys
1.
see this large dwarf try to run past all these spikes, and they're tearing at his flesh, ripping bits off, tearing his armor apart. He's taking a lot of damage, but he's panicking because of the fire that just burned him and his friends. He's heading for the door, and he's kind of almost not making it. He's going to stumble, and as he goes past Caliban, from behind, Caliban lops his head off, and he's gone. So, he's gone.
Dang.
All right.
Self-defense!
How many hit points did he have left after spike growth?
He didn't, but I combined the two effects into one. I thought it was more cinematic if it happened at the same time. Okay, so the other guy you can see. Sorry, no, the ones you can see are dead. Yeah, their turn. Two voices screamed out, but you don't know what they're doing. But it's no longer their turn. But
Did they move in my... Because I centered it at the top, so it's 20-foot radius.
yeah, but they were on the other side of the stairwell, behind the door. So they got by the flames, but I don't think based on where you centered the spikes that they would.
I centered it at the top of the staircase by the door. Because that's where the javelin guy was.
So can it
it's
extend
20 foot
beyond a
away from
door
Caliban.
that you can't see? I guess.
Yeah. It's 20-foot radius.
All right. I guess.
Unless you say otherwise, I would
Sure.
assume.
Is the damage the same for everybody?
Yes, it's the same. Yeah, it's per 5 foot of movement, 2d4.
Okay. Cool. So let me rephrase that. As the flames burn out and you hear the screams, you see pop into existence 2 more dwarves that are trying to run out from the back of the building, but their bodies are ripped apart by the thorns, and they just kind of crumble over as they bleed out onto the floor, gasping for air. And you're all out of initiative. Let me turn the music off.
They're all dead?
Yes, they, as far as you can tell.
All right.
1 second.
I sort of appear out of the shadows. Oreo appears out of the shadows and goes, God, are all your days as vengeful as this?
There we go.
Again,
I couldn't
this
find
is
the right
hey,
music.
as he says this, Robert just pipes up and goes, "I wanted to camp outside."
Want to actually answer your question? No. Sometimes zombie ogres are involved.
Okay, that's very good. Well, you know,
I
action on the evening makes for a good sleep.
I look around while still like flaming.
I loot
Anybody
the
else
bodies.
hungry? I did not actually eat any food or drink. I was.
Oh, you missed
wondering-
out. You missed out. That was some good mead. I loot the bodies.
I would stop concentrating on spike growth.
Okay. The vines
Before-
sort of disappear.
Can I cautiously approach the ones that have been bleeding and who seem to be dead, but could? I'm just. Can I go up to them and just check whether they are?
Kick them with it.
Very, very cautious.
Yeah, you can roll an investigation check.
10.
They seem to be dead. There's blood pooling on the floor.
Okay.
Aria sort of goes upstairs and looks around where they came from.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Oh. That's I was good at. 25.
So, what you notice going upstairs and sort of having a look around is that it looks like these 6 Duergar have been squatting here for a while. They each took a room in what used to be the inn. And, there's some personal effects, but, they don't really have much with them. Most of what they had was on them.
Mm-hmm.
What was on them?
It's the same scale mail and the war picks. They're sort of geared very similarly. You can tell that they're foot troops, like the ones.
How many total?
6.
Okay, 6 scale mails, 6 war picks.
Oh. Good.
I was gonna say, as I kind of as Rover walks up the stairs, he kind of chuckles to himself and says, "Oh, that was very effective. Malrock's meat grinder."
That chuckle.
I sort of look around and I go, so, guys, lads and lasses and chaps and chapesses, these guys, 2 things I would like to note. One is, are these the Duergar that you encountered previously? And secondly, that bastard up in the castle was right. We encountered Duergar, we dealt with them.
Yes.
I mean, at this point, Dervik, I think, would probably be like, "Yeah, but Duergar are evil. They attack us, we kill them."
I'm not debating the moral turpitude of this discussion. I'm just debating the fact
Oh, good.
that they, well, first of all, they were squatting in our squat, which is always a despicable thing. I mean, we. And secondly, the chap up in the castle he was right. The next thing we bloody did was go and find Duergar and
Kill them.
Well, I actually met I met the lady that they said had died recently. What was her name?
Hethel.
Hethel. I actually met her before she died.
Yeah.
And she warned me that Zardak Sunblight, their leader, was building a dragon out of Shandaran.
Dragon, you say?
Yes, building a dragon. And that we shouldn't fight it because we would die.
Dragon? That's really interesting.
Has anyone searched the bodies, by the way?
I have. I tried to.
Caliban, yeah.
But so you didn't just strip them of their armor; you'd sort of search them thoroughly.
I said, I search and loot the bodies. Yeah.
You don't find much. But what you do find is a little note, like that, on a scrap of paper that says, "Steadfast, be ready. It will be soon." Oh, sorry, it's in Dwarvish. Okay, but I'm assuming you. Damn it, I'm getting confused.
Dubrick.
Dubrick would
this.
understand Dwarvish
Cool.
and translate it.
Yeah. Steadfast and be ready.
It will happen soon.
We should move quickly.
What do you mean?
After we've slept.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever this Iron Dragon they spoke of, it's going to be happening sooner rather than later.
Wait, can I ask a question? Are there any obvious signs that they are from the same base that we just ended up clearing out, or
They're
do they look
equipped.
wearing a different uniform?
They're equipped almost identically. So, like, take that to mean what you will, but like they seem to have been outfitted by the same outfitter.
Yeah. Like, it's not just like they're all wearing scale mail, they're all wearing the same kind of scale mail, probably made by the same manufacturers. I imagine. Sorry, I'm just...
I just motion to everyone and be like, it's important that we rest, but I think we should have a contingency. Maybe have one of us take shifts so the others can rest, but also be ready in case
I turn to the mummy. Do
something
you need to
happens.
sleep?
No.
Problem solved. Stay
That
watch.
is wonderful. We can all rest, and
Very good.
grandmother can look after us.
Just a small query.
Okay, Forrest Whitaker and Black Panther.
You better recognize.
Oreo is trying to speak. Yes, Oreo?
Sorry.
No, that's totally understand. Well, Hakeem, I'm just a small query I have for you, my new friends. Is Grandma a mummy? And
Little bit. Little bit.
Well,
I
How
nod
by
to
that do you mean yes?
well, he knows the truth. We have to kill him now.
No.
I nod to
Tell them
Oreo
no.
and go.
I'm kidding. I'm
That
kidding.
is
Okay,
very
but-
perceptive of you.
it sort of was quite obvious when the rotting hand came out and it touched the chappie and he just basically died.
She has some temper.
How perchance did you come across this fascinating creature and get it to be on your side?
It's a very long story.
As a
it's
child,
very-
did you ever play the
It
game?
is indeed a long story.
As a child, did you ever play the game Pokemon?
Come on.
Sorry, young lady. I missed your comment. Apologies.
I was about to tell you that, in fact, we found Nana in a place which might be of some importance to you in your quest. Actually, I think we discovered something there that would be very useful to you.
Oh, well, and how did you get her to come along with you?
She followed us willingly.
Well, she followed Akeem willingly.
Thank you for the clarification. I was about to say, whomever opened the sarcophagus became the master of the mummy. But since I have a lot to consider, I asked Caliban to be the one who looks after her.
Oh, okay.
Caliban, is that not so?
That is about accurate, yes.
There you have it.
Thank you very much for the information. I shall make note in my diary immediately. That gets his diary out and day 412. Counted
See,
interest.
I look around
you-
confused, like, should I have been carrying a diary all this time? Have I been doing things wrong? In Zamunda,
I have
we do
been
not
taking
carry these
Should I have been
things.
taking notes?
Sorry, it's a habit. I like to make notes. I'm planning on writing a series of adventure novels in the future.
Ah,
Yes.
I look forward to reading your writings.
Thank you very much. I'm calling them Locke's Misadventures.
I look kind of like puzzled, but go. "Eh."
Well, yes. Well, I thought Locke would be the hero.
As no one's had much to eat, before we do kind of bed down for rest, he goes to hand out these little cherry tomatoes to the rest of the party and just goes, not full meal, but it'll keep us going. And Cherry pawns one out.
Well, actually, I ate at the place, so...
I'm sorry, some of us were spiders and didn't get to eat with them. And then like leave the tomatoes on the table.
That
and
sounds
run
like a
towards
you
the bar.
problem.
He's at the bar. He's pouring. if there are booze still there for some reason, he's pouring them.
No, this has been abandoned. Well, actually, you find some Duergar ale. Do you drink it?
Yeah.
Is there a cellar?
Roll a Constitution
Just for
check.
fun.
Check or a saving throw?
Oh, it's a saving throw. Sure.
Yeah.
It smells like
Yeah.
ale, but it also smells like mushrooms.
17.
17. Okay. It doesn't. You sort of feel like you're eating mold and like a mushroom risotto, and also drinking beer at the same time. But you managed to keep it down.
These
space.
Duergar are fun guys, so to speak.
Well, perhaps a good night's rest, and we shall see what happens in the morning.
Agreed.
Okay, so you leave Grandma up for sort of guard duty, and you all take a rest.
Yes, I tell Grandma to make Are you capable of screaming?
I think so. Not very loud. I don't have very, moist vocal cords, so to speak.
Is there like a pot and like a ladle or something?
Yeah, you can find some things to bang.
I
Something
give
for
her
her to make
those, and I
noise with.
say, I give her those, and I tell her to bang them together as hard as she can if anyone comes in.
Okay.
We want to be awake if that happens.
Okay.
Like,
Is this a long rest that we're about to take, or a
Yes,
short rest?
it's a long rest.
beautiful.
Does anyone want to do anything before I close the day?
I get my notebook out and start writing notes and puffing and stroking locks, just muttering to myself and puffing the.
Okay. Cool. Any other order of business? All right. Romeo, please roll a perception check for Grandma with her stats.
Okay. Perception's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Proficiency, senses, her. Okay, then it's just a straight 17. Roll a 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. You all take a long rest, a well-deserved long rest after the combination of the feeling so like trapped and like something was wrong at the castle, and then escaping that only to find the excitement and the adrenaline of an unexpected fight. But you come to in the morning, and you wake up in the abandoned inn. It's a bit drafty, but you manage to have an alright sleep. Do you guys set out for Easthaven? Is there anything you want to do?
I would like to. Is there a blacksmith in this town? Can I try to find one?
No, it's a small town.
We should probably mention that there were Duergar squatting.
To whom?
Yeah,
The local
we don't-
authorities.
Well, I believe.
Okay, can I wave down like I will
I
go into
don't
town and
think
can I wave
they're
down
local.
anyone who looks like in a guard uniform?
Wouldn't they be up at the? But wouldn't they be up at the castle? Wouldn't they be based there?
Based there, sure, but there'd be maybe a couple guards on patrol around.
Roll an investigation check if you're gonna do that.
Would there? Can I just understand? Would there be a bunch of guards down there?
Well, I would say, why would we want to tell old
We just
chippy
killed a bunch.
chappy up in the castle that he was right? Don't give him the goddamn satisfaction of smoking a drink. Ew, the Venetians were right.
That man gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I
Yeah,
turn
we
to
walk him
Arayo
down
and I
the
say, "You seem like a learned fellow. I'm less so, but I recall some kind of a saying about keeping your friends close, and I don't remember exactly how the rest of it goes, but
Yes, but he's not an enemy. He's just a creepy bastard.
Yeah, we're not actually allied with them. We
no, I know.
Yeah.
I was about to say, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. Perhaps it would do to curry favor. We can always double cross them later.
The heebie-jeebies.
no.
ABGs. I'm with my friends Akeem and Zuxa here. Sorry, Mr. Caliban. I beg to differ with your opinion. I think that that informing him that he was right and giving him any information would be a little bit suspect.
All right. Would you like to dispose of the bodies then?
No, we just leave them there.
All right.
I laugh at the phrase "beg to differ." I like that one. Beg to differ.
Yes, well, I'm glad you like it, Young Akeem. I did like your fire demonstration yesterday. That's very good.
I appreciate.
Yes.
So it's about 7 a.m. in the morning. Do you guys just set out for Easthaven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Do you,
there-
do you take the Duergar's equipment with you? Who takes it?
Yes.
It's quite a lot of stuff.
I guess we'll divide it between all of us.
I'm like,
What's the track?
There's
Oreo
6 of us, so it's 1 set of equipment each.
Oreo turns to you and goes, why are we carrying all this heavy stuff?
It's worth money.
I prefer to make money other ways than trying to sell dead people's things.
Listen, once we get to Easthaven, you can turn any tricks you want. For the moment, let's...
I have to say, Mr. Caliban, you're quite a forceful young chap, aren't you?
An accurate assessment.
Yes.
Tell you what,
Did your mother not love you enough as a child? I'm going to figure this one out.
I take a bit of a step back just to see what goes down.
I take a step forward
Just
just to make sure. Maybe potentially just slightly towards Oreo.
Do you want to take 2 sets, Caliban? Does anybody
I'll
else?
take 2 sets.
Everybody else is taking one, or no one else is taking one?
No, I don't see why. Like, no, I'm not.
No.
I
good.
apologize if I come off as abrasive, Mr. Arayo. Perhaps I can offer you a bowl of warm milk as a peace offering.
Actually, I prefer tea. Do you have a large pot of Earl Grey going? I'm partial to a bit of tea.
I hear someone wanting a fire. I cast bonfire in the middle of them.
No.
I just take his Duergar equipment off of him and I walk away.
Looking at Rover, I'm like, that is what I do.
And I get my kettle out and I put a little tea on. Tea? Anyone? Tea before we head
We're
off?
doing this now.
And I'll
we just
I'll be like,
started walking.
yeah, actually, I'll have one.
I make a little tea for everyone. Pour a cup of tea. One needs a little sustenance in the morning before we go.
So you
Very good. Right.
You all have a nice tea together in this abandoned building, and then you come outside into the cold once more and head for the 9-hour walk to Easthaven. It's a long trek. It's about 7:30 in the morning, something like that. So it would take you to, why can't I do maths anymore? 7, 3, 10, 5. Yeah, so it'll be 4 p.m., something like that, by the time you get to Easthaven.
Yeah.
So you're walking, trudging through the snow, and you arrive.
Do you want a marching order?
Yes, please.
I'll take the
I
rear.
assume. Okay, me and Dervik up front then.
I'll be right behind them.
Okay. Zaxa and Oreo? Somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle. I start chatting to Akeem and Jack Sherrow. So I start doing general chit chat about how they are and what they've done so far and where do you come from then? And that sort of stuff.
As you approach town, let me just switch up speed a second here. There we go. You arrive, you find after some hunting for it under the snow, because it's been quite heavy snowfall lately, you find the Eastway, the road that leads to Easthaven, going round the Lake Dinshire. And you start to follow it, and you begin to see the lights in the distance as you approach the outskirts of town. Do you have anywhere in particular that you want to head into town of? Like a specific destination?
Let's offload the equipment, I'd say, first things first.
Just
Blacksmith. I will look for a blacksmith.
Okay, well, you're on the edge of town. Do you want to head in? Like, you haven't really kind of been here before.
Yeah, I will head into town and try to
Okay.
ask around.
Roll an investigation check. As you all kind of walk into town, you see that everybody seems to be walking in the same direction and heading towards the town center.
Do I recognize what's happening?
At first, you think maybe it's the monthly. Easthaven is one of the other towns that does the monthly sacrifice of a person, but you realize that it's like 20 days too early, so it can't be that.
I rolled a 17 on the investigation check, but I'm kind of curious. Let's just follow it for a second.
Why don't we just ask them? We could just.
Do you want to ask one of the passerbys?
Yeah.
Be my guest.
Hey there.
Hello.
You approach, and this kind of old lady looks up at you. Is like, "Hello, how can I help you, young thing? Oh, look at you, so beautiful."
Thanks. I just wanted to know. I realize it's probably a little too early for the sacrifice. Where's everyone going?
Oh, haven't you heard? Oh, you must be from out of town. There's to be a public execution. Nothing to do with the usual sacrifice. This is, a criminal. And she kind of whispers in, what's the word? Co-conspiratorially? Yeah. And he goes, a wizard. He's been caught murdering local people. Some of our best adventurers, in fact.
Oh, I love executions. They're so much fun.
Do I hear that?
Did he have any friends? Is it just him going under the? You know what I'm saying?
It's just the one being killed that I know of. I don't normally step out. I'm an old lady, like gestures to herself. But this is the most excitement we've had in a while.
Gosh, he must have had a massive trial. Surely he had a.
She looks sort of expensive. I don't know.
Probably not that big.
Okay. And I guess.
You must excuse me. I don't want to miss it. And she sort of hurries along very slowly, but like trying her best to get there in time.
I didn't get the wizard's name, but I turn to the others and I sort of say, well, we got an execution to go to, but maybe that was one of the wizards we were hoping to talk to. I hope it isn't.
Look,
What a way to start the morning.
We start moving, and we just start sort of moving in the same direction everyone else is moving in, I suppose.
bars are always busier after execution.
Makes you thirsty.
Hard to get ale.
So as you follow the crowd and kind of follow where they go, they arrive into the center of town where you see the town hall and there's a market square. And a crowd has gathered in front of the town hall to watch the public execution of this human wizard. You see him tied to a stake in the middle of the plaza, sort of with kindling underneath. A gag in his mouth. He's got sort of a pointed, kind of like Gandalf type hat with a little bit of a bent like tip. And there's a crowd gathering around him. He's been burnt to stake and gagged. As you arrive, you see members of the local militia use their torches to light the kindling underneath. And in this already grim kind of scene, you see something that makes your kind of like entire soul squirm, which is the heat from the flames that quickly envelops this figure who doesn't seem to scream, doesn't seem to even move as this happens.
Can I cast Detect Magic as this is all going on before they light the kindling?
Sure.
How far away are we?
There's a crowd, so you're probably like 60 feet away from it. Like it's happening. You're in just at the edges, the outskirts of the crowd.
Are we on the same? Are we on the same level as everyone else, or are we coming down?
You're on the same level as everybody else, except the platform where he's on with the stake is a little bit raised.
I will cast Detect Magic and try my best to get within 30 feet of the burning stake.
You don't really notice anything.
Nothing coming off of him?
Nothing coming off of him. But as I was saying, something that makes your soul squirm, which is everybody that's watching this, it sort of draws in closer as the flame envelops this man, and they're sort of huddling against the warmth of this public burning, because it's the most heat some of these people have had in about a year. And he's quickly engulfed in flames and starts to burn away.
I don't know about you, chaps and chapesses, but I'm not a big fan of public executions.
This is, again, I avoid towns and civilization for many reasons. This is just one of them.
Yes, my big friend has. Yeah.
They are uncommon in Zamunda, but they happen
Yeah.
rarely for someone who has been very, very bad.
Yes, I don't think I remember back in my home country, there was a period of our history where we hunted people who are different than us, and we put them to the stake. And it's a period of our history where we don't like to think about it because it was bad and horrible, and some people, put people in tough situations. They were sort of found not guilty later because, someone had lied or told them. I have a sneaking suspicion that putting someone in a pointy hat does not necessitate that they are a wizard.
This is true. If he was a wizard, I would have thought he could have escaped.
It is possible.
You would do something.
A woman bedecked in a beautifully tailored winter coat with a little fur hat on top and one of those things where you put your hands in.
Muffler.
Catches, sort of looks at you, pauses for a second and makes a beeline for you guys and approaches you.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
As she gets close, she looks at all of you and says, "Hello, are you the adventurers I have heard about? I'm Imdra Arglagath. I am the leader of the town guard."
Imdra, nice
Hi.
to meet you, but what it is it that you have heard about us, if you don't mind me asking?
I heard word from a local guide passing through, a man named Garrett, that you stopped a threat of Duergar. And you've been also potentially the ones responsible for some of the other things happening in the other towns, such as Bremen with the lake monster. Is this not true?
Yes, a little bit.
Very well.
May I, Indra, Dr. Oreo Nostra here. Can I ask you a slightly impertinent question? The chappie that you just burnt to death, what did he actually do?
A sad but unfortunate necessity. We cannot encourage this sort of behavior. He hired some of our local adventurers to do something for him, and he murdered all of them, as well as any of the people that had heard the outcome of his perusing. He was trying to keep people silent. He came into town disguised, thinking we would be fooled, but we saw through his disguise because his voice and his movement was the same. Recognized him a mile away.
And the adventurers, well, what did he get them to do, and how did they end up dead?
That he would not reveal, even under duress, shall we say.
Very good.
If this is not to your liking, and she kind of gestures to the fire, may I have a word with all of you at the local inn? I will buy you a drink.
Do they have tea?
I suppose that they do.
Yeah. I turn to the to my new companions and go, well, what do you think?
I think we have rather pressing business with a problem that we heard here. Oh, sorry, you're not there. Again, like trying to kind of usher away from the townspeople, just being like, we found a note. in one of the Duergar fortresses. It said they had an outpost in Easthaven. And we think we know where it is.
Perhaps we should listen to the lady's proposal anyway.
I will defer to you. You people know cities. I just rover.
I guess I'm going along with yeah. Well, sure. Let's have it. Let's talk to her. Well, let's have her talk to us, I guess.
So she sort of leads the way and sort of heads quite, as soon as you kind of seem to all agree, like makes a beeline for somewhere and is expecting you to follow. And she reaches a rather large inn that looks, from the windows you can see there's people indoors like that have already left the execution after the fire had died down a bit. It wasn't quite as warm as before, and they're already starting to drink and stuff. And she sort of leads in, and as you walk in, you can see a small little halfling covered in a cape with a sort of a fur trim that is sort of talking very animatedly to some of the people in there, saying, "And then she haunted them." And he looks around and sees you come in and says, "Ah, newcomers, please hear my story." And like Imdra just gestures and goes, "Not right now, Ronaldo." And he's like, "Oh," a bit taken aback. "Later." And she takes you to one of the booths and sits you down. So,
has everyone else lost a keen?
I think
Yeah.
but he's gone black, so I think he might be answering the door or something like that, just like potentially Romeo. But should we take a small break? I think if anyone wants to have a bathroom break.
Probably wise.
Excuse me.
Since we have 2 missing players as well.
So just so we have to explain everything
Yeah,
again.
the dog arrived as well, so we'll give it just a small break. By the way, we had our longtime fan Tifatek commenting and cheering us on whilst you guys were attacking the Duergar. So check out the chat later. There's some funny comments there. Thanks for watching, Tifa.
What a miss.
What? I come back and everyone's gone?
Well, since 2 people had gone, I thought I'd offer a bathroom break, which Miri
Thanks.
decided to run for. So.
Okay.
Well, there's been a lot of cider coming down, so I'm like, go.
Dog's been bathed.
Excellent.
I didn't want to be like, hey guys, so I need to go pee pee.
Yeah.
The dog was like 50% mud as well, so I had to.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't hear the doorbell. I don't know how you did.
That's quite nice.
Now, do you believe me when I say the delivery guys didn't even try?
Sure. So just to recap, I think for Romero and Akeem, the town guard captain sort of took a notice, came over, and asked you guys to come to the local inn to have a chat. She seems to know about your exploits a little bit.
Another. There's another quest. It seems like another.
She just wants to have a bit of a chat, but
yeah, that's what they all. And then we get a quest.
Yeah, but see again.
We have some questions we must ask her, I think, anyway.
Can we offload this gear first? It's heavy.
I did
No.
say.
You're just gonna have to. You're the one who wanted to drag it, so you're gonna have to carry it
Plus,
until we
we
finish
got a
this.
Goliath.
It would take
too,
2
so-
seconds, and I'm sure it's on the
No.
way to the inn.
Oh, let's get
she's
this over
making a
with.
beeline, so...
Come on.
Anyway,
Really
we already
bad.
narrated that you're sitting at the booth.
Okay.
All right, fine.
Fine.
Never mind.
So she sits you down and she's looking at you, like trying to taking you in because she's heard about you, but she hasn't seen you before. Is everybody else's music completely gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to switch it up. Mine seems to have crashed. Oh, for
You
some
hear
reason.
me?
There we go.
Yeah.
Is it back? There we go. This
It's,
I
it's
am
really
sorry
kicking
to
in.
be so forthright and pull you aside like this, but as I have told you, our local people that we normally go to in times of trouble have all been killed. And I just wanted to see if we could get to know each other in case to see if there's any ways we can be mutually beneficial to each other. And also, I'd like to take stock of everyone new in my town. I like to keep a handle on things. I will start by asking, do you have any questions for me?
There was a murder here not too long ago.
Indeed.
Bit of an icicle situation.
Ah, yes. About 15 days ago or so, something like that, yes.
I'm looking into that and others like it. I'm wondering if I firmly believe there's a connection between all of them. What kind of favor would we have to curry to gain access to the information
I will.
gleaned off of that
I
murder?
will quite happily give what information I can if it's to solve murders and keep people from being killed.
You're most kind.
In regards to that murder specifically, we did not find the culprit. It was, as you say, as a wound that seemed to be made by a dagger of ice. Very peculiar.
Is the body still available?
I'm afraid it's been buried. What I will
That's
say
fair.
is, though the guard did not find any evidence, there was someone who seemed to think they knew who the culprit might be. I did not give them much notice. They like a lot of attention usually. It's a retired adventurer. You know, she doesn't really want to go out herself anymore. She's getting on a bit.
She have a name?
Hlyn Trollbane.
Flynn.
Yes, a shield dwarf, retired bounty hunter. She was
Good to
certain
know.
there was a connection, but that's all I know.
Thank you for this information.
I'll gesture deferring to the rest of the party. As in, like, I'm done.
Any other information that you seek?
Yes, we heard of some Alaskan wizards coming through here. Since you are so acquainted with all the newcomers and the outsiders, are they still here, and where are they?
Well, I'm afraid one of them you just saw. He was the criminal that was burnt. But out of the other, they came together, but they quickly parted ways. There was 4 of them. Now let me recall. There was Zan, whom you've just seen. There was the tiefling girl. I did not catch her name, but she left town. She's headed north. The other 2 were always bickering, the old woman and the young lady with her. I don't recall their last name. One is Velin. She's taken up residence in the middle of town. And the girl that was with her for a while was Ness.
And how do you know that they were not involved in any of the murders that you found Zan guilty of?
Well, some of them have left town completely, from what I could tell. I did go and thoroughly interrogate Velin, just in case, but she had very reliable alibi, and she seemed to have parted ways with Zan about 10 days ago.
So Velin is the only one that is still here.
The only one that I'm still aware of the exact location.
And these wizards were just traveling through, but who would be your person of magical authority or knowledge here? Who would be the best person to talk to?
We have, this is the Ascent of Nowhere, as you have seen. We do have some people. We do have a small curio shop with a local spellcaster, but he's not very high level. I can introduce you to him. However, Feline seems to have taken up some of the custom as well, still in some of his business. She seems to be a much more potent magician, if you will. If you needed anything magical, she would be probably your first point of call. But if you want to be introduced to the local wizard, I can certainly do that.
Do we need an introduction?
Oh, no, you can just find his shop. I can point you to his direction. I thought maybe you'd want, you could use with being introduced, but that is not a requirement.
Sure, we can be introduced. We've traveled a long way to find out that one of the people I needed to speak to is someone you've executed.
That is unfortunate, I'm afraid, but...
Especially with so little evidence.
Well, there was quite a bit of evidence. We have found
Except that you were able
the
to
bodies
find out
in his place of residence. And
Really?
we were suspicious when he came back, when no one came back from his expedition, and he only came back but was disguised and intentionally speaking to us in disguise. When we apprehended him and questioned him, he was despondent, so we went into his home to see what was up, and after he wouldn't tell us where everybody else was, and we found some locals murdered in his house.
the adventurers or murder.
No, there is no trace left of the adventurers, I'm afraid.
Who were the adventurers?
It was a local band of heroes, if you will, doing small things. There was a few of them. I have to come up with names for it all. It's not listed in the book. Do you want me to create them now?
Murder, Balaban, Murder, Malaban,
No.
Bakim, and
Bucking. Nice.
It was a group of 5 friends that had come together. They had different skill sets. There was one that was very good at sneaking around, one that was a very good warrior, and so to speak, one wizard of a low level, and a cleric.
So in his residence, there are a bunch of people murdered and no trace of the people that you said he'd actually killed.
No, we questioned him somewhat, and he wouldn't give us specifics, but it was quite clear that he disposed of them.
How could it be quite clear?
Their
if he didn't-
belongings
he didn't-
were in his house. We recognized some of their trinkets.
I don't buy it. I say to the other guys, I don't buy it.
You say that out loud?
I don't buy it.
You want to run an insight check?
Yeah, and I look her around in the eyes and say,
Alright.
I don't buy it.
All right, roll an insight check if you want to.
11.
I mean, you think she's not telling you the truth, but you can't, like, her body language is not giving anything away. As she's warming up, she took off her fur hat and her, what was it called?
Muffler.
The muffler, and has sort of unbuttoned her a little bit, her beautifully sort of tailored, it's got like a little white trim on the edges, and it's sort of this tan sort of collar.
as Axa would have yelled that, I would have turned to the nearest barman and been like, 2 beers.
Next beers.
My new compatriot here is a forthright young lady and tends to speak her mind. I have to say I don't know your methods or investigation techniques here in in Easthaven, so I defer to your better judgment. But to one question that I might have, and then perchance a follow-up question. Would you have happened to have seen another little creature looked like me, slightly older, little grey moustache, hair, pass through here? If you're so keen on keeping tabs on everyone that passes through.
Indeed, and yes, I did. I can
Oh.
confirm that such a man, Tabaxi, I believe you guys are called,
We are.
passed through town Well, last I saw him, he came and went a few times. Would have been a month ago, I think.
And perhaps maybe someone to ask is, do you know where he might have gone?
Let me see. No, I'm sorry, I do not recall. He seemed to make friends here. He had a few people. You might want to ask around.
Knowing my errant father, was there a young lady that he was particularly close to during his time here?
He did seem to try to befriend, if you will, most of the barmaids here.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised there. Anyway, yes, I wonder if there was any success in the old dog. I mean, cat. I mean, so the other question I have for you is what do you want from us then?
Yes. Well, I have one particular thing I require a bit of help with, if you will. And also, I'd like to be able to be in contact with you guys if there's anything else that you discover is amiss around here. I'd like to know. I want to keep on top of things. In particular, what I'm needing help with is 4 of our own citizens. 4 fishers went missing on Lake Dinishir 10 days ago. I would like someone to try to see if they can figure out what happened to them. If that is something that is in your purview, that is...
Sorry, I guess Robocab just sort of cracks his knuckles and be like, "Oh, we're going to meet another fish slayer."
I always like a good mystery.
The coastline is very hard to sail along because of the ice. As you can see, it's very frozen over. But some savvy anglers prefer it because it's there's less competing fishes. These 4 went out to do their fishing and never came back. If you could find it in your travels, look for them. It would be very much something I would appreciate. And I would give any help or information about things around town here that would suit you or be useful to you.
Hang on.
Wherever I could. We are in need of people that get things done after, well, you know.
I'm not sure you can afford us.
This Rover kind of abruptly kind of goes, "What can you tell us about your ferry?"
The ferry has been stopped for quite a while. It hasn't been running, which is, we've been hearing a nearfall, of course, from the towns that it services, Caer-Dineval and Caer-Konig.
Okay.
The ferryman is, 1 second. Scython is the operator and owner of the Easthaven ferry. He could tell you more, but they've been shut down for a while.
Apparently. Anyway.
Would you like an introduction to fill in?
No, that will do. That's fine.
Did you ever discover the reason that Zahn and the wizards had come to Easthaven? Did you ever find out? What was their initial purpose?
Wanted
No?
to find out after the debacle, but the people that
When you first met them, what did they say their purpose for being in Easthaven
They
was?
were very secretive and gave me the runaround, if you will, when I tried to probe deeper. Non-committal answers. But it seemed like they were, from what I managed to overhear whilst trying to tail them, there was something about something in the frozen wastes that they were looking for, but I did not ever catch. They were very careful not to name what they were looking for directly. Perhaps you'll have more luck talking to Vilin than I did.
What would make you think that?
I am, how you say, abrasive. People don't tend to warm up to me. It's useful when intimidating people, but less useful when trying to charm them.
A woman after my own heart.
How old is she?
She is, well, about sort of maybe in her 30s, early 30s or late 20s. She's I would say actually no, she's a half elf. So about 30, 34, something like that, sort of around that age, half elf.
Hey, girl.
Oreo looks across at Akeem and talks to her and goes, "Is he always like this?"
Me laughing, be like, you have just seen the tip of the iceberg. Just hang around a bit longer, and you thank yourself for all the joyous moments that Caliban brings.
I sit back and sort of watch and turn like I'm watching a television or a sport, and with my cup of tea and go, "Oh, this should be good."
Oh, Caliban, you
Sort of raises an eyebrow. Roll a persuasion check.
Please say 21. Please say 21. I want it to be like something really high.
24.
24.
Ah, yes! Yes!
You see that for a fraction of a second, her kind of very direct, kind of, and she looks kind of, she's a half elf, so she's got elfin features, but they're also kind of mixed with sort of Nordic, very Swedish-looking features. And she's got blonde hair now that she's pulled off her hat, that's kind of braided into a tress that runs down her back.
I'm picturing Lagertha.
And yeah, that kind of thing. And
Cool.
her kind of stern exterior, like for a second, it kind of almost splits into a smile, but then it quickly gets hidden away. Well, if you do find it in your heart to look for these poor men that we have not been able to find, I don't have much to give, but we did confiscate from the wizard Zan 2 magical items. I could give you one in return. We have a scroll of fireball, and we have a grey bag of tricks. I'd be willing to part with either of those for definite answer of what happened to the fishermen or their safe return.
Well, I'm always a fan of fireballs, but tell me more about this bag of tricks.
I asked Velin to identify it for us. Apparently, it is able to conjure various animals to help you in your endeavors.
Ooh, that's a tough call. I mean,
It's a grey bag of tricks. You can pull things out, and they become like there's different things
Yeah.
inside. You can have a look. I can send you this.
Yeah, no, just I'm familiar, so like, I turn to the others.
something like a fireball scroll could definitely be worth our time.
I agree.
But how does fireball spell get us more beer?
We turned the people to ash, and then we take their beer.
No, but like I come to town to have beer. I have scroll of fireball. How does that get me beer?
Do we need to stage an intervention? You seem to like the bottle a lot.
I mean, no, I don't come like I come help you because you saved my life.
All right.
I bumped.
Fireball lets us take more dangerous missions. More dangerous missions means higher reward. Higher reward means more spending money. More spending money means more beer.
I have to say, there's a very, very, very clear chain of logic in that statement from Caliban.
See, I nod. I bump Rover on the shoulder, or like the arm, and go. After all the battles we have had, I think you are correct in wanting to have a little bit of beer. So I'm with you, my
You
friend.
see Imdra suddenly take a deeper look at Grandma and move her hand to her belt. And
I'm going to stop you right there.
what is the meaning of this? This is not a person.
I can explain everything if you would just give me a moment.
Roll a persuasion check.
It's a long story.
25.
Explain very quickly.
We came across an elven tomb that was completely hidden from all eyes unless an animal were to guide you there. There we managed to stop a druid that was awakening creatures and setting them upon townsfolk around 10 towns. As part of with this, we investigated said tomb and inadvertently awakened the one who is resting in that tomb. It seems to obey all our commands. It saved she, because it's a woman, saved our lives more than once and has been instrumental in our success that has gained the notoriety that you know us for so far. She is
Very well.
our
She
super
goes
weapon,
to stop
if you will.
Very well. I don't think it's a good idea to take her into places. If other townfolk see her for what she is, I don't think I can protect you or her. Understood?
As soon as we get our hands on our sled, we will park her always with the sled. We're just saving up money for a sled. In fact, if you have a sled... Wait a second, we have sleds, we just need the dogs. Do you have dogs?
I do not. But you might find some in the local kennels and stables. I can point you in that direction. I must take my leave. I will be back here tomorrow for breakfast. If you have any further questions, other places, I can introduce you to the wizard Velin. I know where she lives. And if you have anything else you need to research, I suggest the town hall is a good starting point.
Thank you, and thank you for your understanding and mercy in this unconventional situation.
And she stands up and goes to leave. And almost immediately, as soon as she's out the door, the halfling that was trying to kind of reach you before comes up to you and says, "Hello, my friends. My name is Rinaldo."
Oh.
I'm waiting for him to open up his cloak and say, "You want to buy a watch?"
No, and he says, "Have you heard the story of the ghost lady of Lake Denishir?"
Oh dear, but
This feels like another quest. But go on.
No, I say I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to hear it whether we say yes or no.
And he takes out his little, he's got a fiddle, and he's like, "Oh, they're very perspicacious, yes. If you're interested, I'm later this evening after dinner, I'm holding a seance. We're gonna speak to the spirit of the White Lady and see if we can have answers from her."
You know what? Sure.
Fantastic. I will see you after dinner. And he scurries off and goes back to talk to the other people into the...
I turn to the others and I say, I've read enough horror novels to know that there's a better than likely chance we're going to be fighting this ghost lady at said seance, so everyone keep that in mind.
Have we forgotten that we wanted to kill Duergar?
So it's now 5:15. I'm happy to keep going for a bit if you guys want to discuss what to do next, but I'm happy to also bring it to an end. Do you want to do a little bit more, or sort of decide what you're gonna do next and whether you take care up on your offer or go see the wizard lady?
I would like to take 2 seconds to offload the gear and then maybe do a little bit of just getting the feel for the town if we have 10 more minutes to do that.
Okay, we can have a look at that. Zaxa, did you want to try to go speak to the wizard lady?
I thought she was going to introduce us. She's harassed us about introducing us, and we finally agreed.
Oh.
Yeah.
She just left.
They just walked off.
She tried to introduce us to half the people in the town that we didn't want to speak to.
Okay.
And then
Whatever.
I asked several times if you wanted to be introduced, and for some, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention. I didn't get the sense that you said definitely yes.
Wasn't keen, but I eventually consented.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll all the dice.
It was gonna happen.
We should do that. Okay.
all right. So I'll say that you stop her on her way out. Says, "Oh, did you want something? You want to go speak. Okay, fine. Let's say that you say yes. I'll take you to the lady. Fine. All right. So she guides you through town and points to a house, like a really nice house. Says she rented this whole residence for herself. I think she is of money, if you will. And
Did this place used to be anything special?
you can tell that it was a rich residence. Do you ask her that?
No, I didn't. I guess. Or should I? Okay.
You want?
Yes.
Okay.
I love
I'll
it.
ask her that.
No, should I go?
She looks at you and says, it was the residence of a long line of town speakers that used to be here. The current town speaker has a different home. This was the family that used to have the town speakership owned this house, but they died out. This knocks on the door. And you see the door open, and in a little trench coat, you see stacked on top of each other 3 little lizard-like bright red little red creatures that look at you and says together, "Hello and welcome."
Out of character, I know what these are, but a good way to refer to them is dragon chihuahuas.
We're not with you. It's just Aksha on her own.
Did you guys not go?
Yeah. No, I would have struck out for a blacksmith.
Okay. Does anyone go with Zexa, or is it just Zexa?
No, I got Zuxa's back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Zuxa.
I'm all up for a good conversation and a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Is it
Why
too
not?
late to change my mind about the blacksmith? Do that later and go with Zoxa. I am happy to stick to it if I said it.
Sure.
Okay.
So you all
Come
go.
join us.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Grudgingly leaving the pub where he is.
So these 3 little, basically tiny little dragon chihuahuas, as Romero's put it, like open the door, and you can see that they're inside like a trench coat, and they're like, "Hello, what can we do for you?" He says, "We're here to
Just
see
as
your
a
master."
side note, I love the voice.
Okay. I turned to the what was her name again? The
Indra.
lady with. Yeah, I turned to Indra and said, for a second, I thought that was the wizard, and you just were really terrible at like seeing through disguises.
No,
I joke with her.
Yes, very funny. We're here to see your master. It says, the other guys will help you out. We have somewhere to go. And you see them button up the trench coat and pull the hood over, and head kind of stumbling out into the snow, pretending to be a person, basically. It says, never get used to it. But they're not very liked around here, like your grandma, so they try to keep a low profile. And she takes you in and sits down in this foyer, and you see one more of these kind of little creatures sort of getting some tea ready in the corner. And she's like, "Oh."
What color are they?
Actually, all kobolds are red, as far as I know.
Tea? Did someone say tea?
Tea. Would you like some tea?
Very good. Tea, a little bit of milk, spot of honey.
Okay. And he starts
Biscuits if it's not inconvenient.
Yes, but no bourbons. Bourbons, the biscuits of hell.
You see that the place is kind of being taken up, and there's like little sort of strange little snacks in the corner. There's like a next to the pot to make tea, there's one of those alchemical kind of glass spheres with a tube coming out of it, and a sort of a greenish liquid bubbling up inside, and with a little flame underneath like a Bunsen burner.
Detect magic.
You get the sense that there's a lot of magical ingredients around, but nothing specific in terms of magic like item or anything like that.
Okay.
I turn to one of the little red creatures. Hello, young man, boy, child, thing. I'm not sure what you are, but there we go. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
I'm Rudolph.
Rudolph, excellent. Rudolph, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you come from?
Well, I came with the master.
And
We're here. It's cold.
do you like it?
Well, like warmth, better.
Okay. And the
How
master,
old are you?
How? Oh, thank you. How?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's nice. She looks after us. Gives us lots of treats and keeps us happy. It's nice boss. Good boss man.
Woman.
How old are you? How old are you?
This is a reference. 11 days.
And how long do kobolds live?
11 days. to anyone that's seen that.
It's like a Me6.
He's I don't know. He'd be like young adult kobold.
Okay.
Oh, I
Anyway,
thought there'd be an elderly, because
excuse
it's
me.
11 days.
And like starts finishing making up the tea. And Indra is kind of getting impatient. Oh, where is she? Velin, and down comes from the stairs this older lady wearing an eye patch, a black eye patch. Actually, let me see if I can get you what she looks like.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say now, right?
1 second. I'm going to try and find her. And she's coming down the stairs with 2 more of these creatures, but they seem to be bundled up in robes, these ones. 1 second.
Divine sense.
Divine sense.
Yeah.
The 2 kobolds beside her light up brightly, but not the one that you were talking to.
What color do they light up?
You get the sense that they're undead.
Wait, did Divine Sense just work?
Eat my asshole, all of you. Sorry. Never mind.
No.
Okay, fine.
I'm glad you
That
did.
was an extreme reaction, but
I'm
the
gl-
vindication is
1
real.
second.
I'm
Okay.
glad you did.
We knew it was going to happen eventually.
I just wanted to highlight
It
the
just
moment
took us
that it
by
did.
surprise that it was now.
Yeah.
So this lady
Is
looks
this that moment?
quite haughty. She's got a sort of short white hair, and on top of her shoulder is a beautiful white owl.
I
I'm
turn
sending her in the chat so you can have a look.
and I turn to Lox and go, Lox, down boy, leave.
Does the owl get so detect magic is still up? Does the owl give off anything off of
Yes,
that?
the owl is a magical creature.
Are we talking about Hedwig?
Basically, he's a familiar. So he's a wizard's familiar, which Calvin will tell you maybe, but just.
I'm a believe it's Hedwig.
It kind of looks like a Cruella de Vil with an eye patch.
Basically. Sorry.
Nice.
So she comes down and she looks at us and says, back again to question me with more brutes. I have work to do.
What?
About that work, actually.
Who are you?
Terribly sorry.
Someone who's
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. We just our lovely young friend here, Raksha Bay. This lady, Indra, she just wanted to make sure we introduce us. Thank you very much for introducing us, Indra. We don't need to thank you very much for your introduction. You don't actually have to wait for us. My young lady friend Raksha Bay wants to talk to you. I'm Dr. Oreo Nordson, sir. So is that when we meet you? What's your name again?
I am Felin.
Felin, nice to meet you. Yes. Thank you very much, Indra.
F, like for oh, damn it! What's the letter for V in the? I ruined my own joke in the phonetic alphabet.
Valerian.
Huh?
V for Valerian.
F for Victor. Felin Harper. It's my name.
Caliban visibly does this, like.
And Indra says, very well, these people are local adventurers. They've done some good for the local police. Please be nice to them. They are not associated with me. And she leaves.
Thank you, Indra. Bye-bye, Toodlepip. Cheerio.
Very well. You're sticking around for tea? Is that what I am gathering around?
One of you, Rudolph. Yes, young Rudolph offered us tea, and we kindly sort of took it up. But my young friend Chuksha Bay has some questions for you. She wants to talk to you. I'm just here for the tea.
Very well. Please take a seat on the sofa.
As we do, can I nudge Zuxa, and then if I can make eye contact with her, tap my forehead for a moment? Like, just tap my forehead.
Sure.
I will then count to 3, and then just spend the next... Well, then, actually, no, I'll then spend the next, 30 seconds or so just thinking the sentence, the kobolds are undead, the kobolds are undead, the kobolds are undead.
Okay.
I don't think I get that because I can send I can tell you something, but I can't.
Oh,
I can't hear what you're
I
thinking.
still do that because Caliban probably doesn't know the specifics of how that
You're
works.
just sitting there thinking real
Yeah, I
hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Depends about, yeah. It's not message.
So I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the message, I guess, and you're probably gonna get frustrated. But I'm not getting it.
So she sits.
All right, fair enough.
Sits down.
I'm sorry. We were very sorry to hear about your friend Zahn. We happened to see what happened to him. We came upon that when we arrived in Easthaven.
Fell when one place with such stupid endeavors, one gets burned, does he not?
So you believe in his guilt?
Oh, for sure. Like, without a shadow of doubt.
Is he?
Insight check that sentence,
All right,
please.
roll for an insight check.
Yeah, why not?
8.
Anyone done better than that?
7.
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
I haven't done any.
Hold on. Oh God, too many things going. Insight. 18.
What, 17?
Okay. To Zuxa and Oreo, she seems like she's being truthful. She's kind of disdainful about Zahn. Seems a little bit haughty. She's definitely of a noble bearing. Her clothes are very fine. So, what can I do for you? Are you here to have some magic potions or something magical made for you? What you want?
Do you have anything special?
No, I'm just making small things here for my own uses, but I found it useful as I couldn't take all of my fortune with me to earn a little bit on the side, making a few simple magical things.
Would you have any interest in some master-crafted Duergar armor and weapons?
She looks at you like, no, do you have interest in finely crafted alchemical tools?
Maybe.
Oreo kind of looks at Akeem and goes,
You don't know me.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
he is always like this, isn't he?
I turn to Orion and I say, listen, magical, people get weapons and armor enchanted all the time. You gotta make the weapons and armor to then enchant them.
Yep. Kellerman, I was just asking. I'm sorry. I was only just saying that you tend to be a quick sort of like both feet in to every conversation.
It served me well so far.
Maybe things a little bit of revamp of the tactics.
Anyway, darling, you had some specific questions outside of giving your condolences for that fool?
I did have some questions, but I didn't know what specialties you all had. We had heard of a group of wizards, but we didn't. I don't know much about you and your party and why you came to be in Easthaven. What brought you all here?
Well, that is kind of a private matter. We are researchers. We are here to find something very secret and important. I don't feel 100% comfortable divulging my personal information to someone I've just met, to be honest. But
Well, I was going to try and solicit some of your services, but I don't know what your specialties are.
very well. My magic is not appreciated by a lot of people, so I deal with the arcane nature of death. But I am a highly trained wizard in a lot of things. So if you have an arcane matter, it is very likely I can deal with it.
So you raise people from the dead, don't you?
I point to the two kobolds. Those two, for example.
Yes. Well, since we're in such discerning company, yes, my specialty is to deal with the dark arts. It comes in useful. These two didn't used to be dead, and I still needed the help. So now they serve me in death.
And was Naz your apprentice?
Son?
No.
No, he is
Naz. Naz?
Zan.
Was that the name? Nas. No,
Oh,
I don't mean
Nas.
Zan. I mean
Oh.
Nas because that was the other
He looks
one that was.
she looks angry for a second. That bitch. She deals in other matters. Her specialty is 1 second. Discovery, divination, if you will. That was her area of expertise.
And Zan? What was his area of expertise besides all the killing?
San is. She looks. Well, make a persuasion check.
Mm, 12.
Okay. San was an illusionist. That was his area of expertise, creating things that are not really there, disguises. I heard that that fool managed to disguise himself perfectly and then get caught because he didn't know how to pretend to be somebody else. But the disguise must have been impeccable.
You'd be surprised how often people forget that part of the ruse.
Yes.
Just true.
And there was another wizard with you.
Indeed, you are very well informed. How do you know this?
Oh, Indra just told us.
Indeed, there was one more to our number when we first came. We originally came together. Avarice is her name. She...
Love the name. Love the name.
yes, so it's a curious, how you say...
Did she name herself?
Well, that is
Or-
what tieflings tend to do. It is what you call it, an honorific name.
Conjuration specialist?
1 second, just make sure that... Indeed, that was her area of expertise.
How long?
Lucky guess.
How long had you all been traveling together?
It took us a while to get here. You're very curious.
It took us a while to get here too.
Indeed, it is a very hard journey. We traveled together perhaps for a couple of months trying to get here. And when we got here, we quickly fell apart as a group. We all have different ideas of what to do to achieve our goals.
Do you think they really captured Zan?
I'm fairly sure. I had a quick look when they were stringing him up to the pole. It looked like him.
You may not be able to answer the questions that I have, but I wonder if you perhaps know who could answer those questions. During the course of our travels, we came across a magical item, and we couldn't understand how it was attached to the wall that we found it on. I wonder if you might have any idea as to how or what kind of magical adhesives or spells or things or reasons why this particular item was attached to this wall. Do you have any knowledge of that?
What was the nature of this item?
It was a scrying mirror.
Oh, those are very rare. I assume if it was attached by magical means, that it was done to prevent it being taken.
I imagine it was, but if I was to want to remove it,
Well, it depends on the nature of the enchantment, but if it is of the strongest kind, in the strongest magical adhesive is called. 1 second, I've lost my notes. There we go. If it is the strongest kind of magical means of adhesion, such as sovereign glue, then there's very little that can take it off short of a wish spell, or perhaps some universal solvent. Those are very rare things. It would take an extremely powerful wizard or someone able to make these universal solvent. Perhaps some oil of etherealness might also suffice, but that is almost as rare.
How... And you yourself have never made any of this oil before?
I haven't tried to make oil of etherealness specifically. It is something I could try to make for you. The recipe is somewhere in one of my books, and she sort of gestures with her fingers, and like a couple of the books that are on the stands next to her working area sort of flip the pages. I'd have to run through some of the other ones, but I'm fairly sure I could try to make it. It wouldn't be a quick process. It's a complicated potion.
And what would you seek in return for that service?
That is a very interesting proposal. Well,
apart from removing your local Duergar, infestation.
Is there such a thing around here?
I mean, yes.
I mean, probably we've rooted out 2 dens already.
I don't know, like, one of us would have that note we found in the fort.
Oh, I do, and I...
The note saying that you're in Easthaven?
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. But, I mean, there's lots of things, like, all it says here, it just says, like, be prepared, I'm in Easthaven, brother. Like, it doesn't say, I'm a Duergar.
I slammed the, one of the scale mails down onto the table. Well, I didn't slam it, I just, like...
Indeed.
Present it.
That is certainly a nuisance, but I don't see how it's my personal problem. But thank you for offering. The town should be safer. So, am I to understand that you are all capable individuals when it comes to getting into a scrap?
Let's skip ahead to the part where you have a quest for us.
No, nothing at present. I would only ask you...
Sorry, that was a dick move. Forget I said that. I didn't actually say that IRL.
If you could keep an eye out for Ness, you seem to be aware of her. I need to find her. No specific, I have no instructions of where she might have gone, unfortunately. But if in your travels you come across any information of where she is, I would pay her weight in gold.
How much does she weigh?
And if we take her on,
I don't
and
think
if we take her on a knucklehead trout binge-a-thon beforehand, do we get more gold?
I mean, she offers like 500 gold.
Okay.
Just as a side note, I really want to say I appreciate that the DM has a Icelandic / Swedish accent. Just want to appreciate that. That's.
It's called tone of phrase, Caliban.
I know. I was making a joke. Never mind.
I am certainly looking for helpful individuals to aid me should I need to go outside of town for protection. Would you be willing to be engaged as bodyguards should I need them?
Well, I can't only speak for myself, but as a fellow researcher and fellow intellectual, I would be happy to take your going with you and discuss things and help you with your research. I'm reasonably handy in a scrap. I wouldn't say that I'm the strongest, like Mr. Caliban, our friend here, with the big muscles and the big sword. But I can hold my own.
Very well.
Suppose it would be a conversation closer to when you would actually need us. If it's something like, oh hey, I'm gonna go take some purple worm eggs or something, I may have reservations about accompanying you on something like that, but we can certainly have
Indeed.
I'm certainly agreeable to a conversation about what the nature of such a mission would entail, and agreeable to it if it's not something I think I'm not coming back from.
Right. She looks slightly confused by the. She didn't quite follow you all the way there. It's like, but sure.
Well, personally, I go with purple worm eggs every day of the week because they're really fascinating things, and purple worms are amazing creatures. And he starts mumbling to himself.
Tell you what, why don't you go find some purple worm eggs, bring them back, and we'll study them together.
Elsewise, I would also be appreciative if you were to peruse through the local library in the town hall, if for your own reasons, if you would be able to tell me what was the last books accessed by Zan before his demise. I do not want to go there myself, as I am somewhat suspicious that Avarice is keeping her eye on me. I do not want to tip her as to my general doings.
So, just quickly, have I come to understand what she needs from me, or if she needs any bits from me to make this oil?
It would be something that she'd be prepared to do. As a rare magical item, it would be like a few thousand gold to make. Like the ingredients are expensive, and it would probably take her like 2 weeks to make it. If you wanted to engage her into that. But it would be something that if she had like a really like deep need of something from you, she would do in return. So at the moment, she doesn't have like a pressing need that would warrant that level of commitment on her part to give you something. So right now, it would be only for gold. But if she ever comes knocking with a, I really need this for help, you could probably ask her for that in return.
So she's offering 500 gold pieces to be her bodyguard.
500 gold pieces if you are able to tell her where Ness, who she tells you the name is Ness Lantomir, the name of her colleague that disappeared. The one that she said pitch about.
Just out of interest, Willem, did you perchance see another creature like me, a tabaxi, when you came into town, or have you seen one?
She thinks back. I haven't been here that long. I can't say that I would have remembered. I don't think so.
Well, it's fine. Just a casual aside of investigation.
Very well.
What was the name of? Oh, sorry.
Go on. Shaksha, please continue.
No, go. You go ahead.
No. I'm just waffling along, waiting.
Do you know anything about a?
What was the name of the tiefling wizard? I didn't get it.
Sorry, the name of the tiefling wizard was Avarice.
And I didn't get her specialty.
Conjuration.
What does that mean?
Like creating flames, fire, like attacky spells.
That's evocation.
Oh, sorry.
That's evocation.
Conjuring is
Conjuration is portals and make stuff for free.
Yeah. Conjuration is conjuring.
It doesn't actually say for sure, but I think it's conjuration then. It seems mostly attacky.
So evocation then.
Sorry.
Evocation is fireballs and ice.
Sorry.
Things and lightning.
Right.
And
evocation.
Pew, 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 pew.
Oh man, I thought I got a really good guess.
And her name is Everest. Okay, that's the one I need to talk to.
Yeah.
All right.
It's finger guns.
Okay, thanks.
Very well. Is there anything else I can do for you?
When do you need us to do this bodyguarding?
Not just yet. I need to find more information. But it could go quicker if you were able to find what Zan was up to, perhaps.
I just have one last question personally, if it's not too inconvenient. Know anything about that murder that was caused with the shard of enchanted ice dagger?
No, I'm afraid not.
Do I believe her?
Sure, roll an insight check.
22.
She looks like she has no idea what you're talking about.
Interesting.
Thank you very much for your time and the very spectacular. Thank Rudolph for the spectacular tea. It was very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. I think we shall mosey on and leave you to your alchemical wonders.
Very well. You know where I am if you need me.
Very good.
She sort of heads back upstairs and leaves the kobolds to clean up. And I think, unless you guys want to keep going, that we're going to end tonight's episode here.
I'm fine with it.
My brain is at a mush
Yeah,
level, so let's wrap it up. Love you all, but I'm tired.
All right.
Very good to meet you all. Take care. I will see you next week.
And you.
Thanks everyone
and you.
for watching. I'm just going to stop the stream now. Bye. And love everyone that commented and made some funny jokes
Peace
whilst we were playing.
out.
See you. We're gonna pause unless these guys after the stream tell me that they want to definitely do it on Boxing Day. But we're gonna pause for Boxing Day, and we'll see you again. I think it's on the 2nd of January. So bye bye.
You damn right. We'll see you there. Peace out.
Happy New Year. Yeah.